What's up, Cody Turbo? What's up, JF? Welcome to the stream. Hold on, give me just a second. All right, sorry about that. All right, so we are going to return to the story of Dave. He's going through a divorce that he doesn't want. That's important. What's up, corn dog? He's going through a divorce that he doesn't want. His wife wanted an open marriage and he would give into it like every once in a while, but he didn't want it as a permanent fixture of their relationship, which caused part of the problem. In his eyes, his they're not living together, I don't think. She's moved in with a new guy as far as I can remember. So he's just going through therapy and stuff trying to kind of process it, and he basically just talks us through everything going on in his divorce. Dave seems like a nice guy. Yes. What's up, Jerry? What's up, South to West? Yeah, and so judging by some of these titles of the videos coming up, which we're going to start with this one. This is a great thumbnail, though. Loneliness after divorce, therapy setbacks, and finding strength alone. But here we've got a provisional hearing, custody, another provisional gaslight. I mean, I think this is going to be a pretty good set of episodes. But let's get started. Oh, and then also tomorrow we're going to do like a lo-fi day of like just public access, VHS, that kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and get started with divorce turning loneliness into aloneness.
Good morning, everybody.
Have I had any? No, I don't think so, Joe. I don't think he's made content for a couple months now.
It's Dave again from my channel. Today I'm going to talk about
Dave's channel.
loneliness, therapy, and kind of a setback from my therapist, which kind of messed with my head. You've seen in my other videos, you know, I got left about a month
Well, yeah, very safety conscious, high vis.
and a half ago, and I've had a rough time of it. We were married for on and off about 20 years, and then kind of all of a sudden she decided she wanted something else. Anyway, I've been going to therapy, and this last time that I went, my therapist, she says, well, I think your ex is eventually going to try to come back. What are you going to do when she does? And
Oh yeah, and he's been holding out hope too. And she's told him directly that like it's over, he needs to move on. She's been pretty final about it, but he's not really fully accepting that.
like the whole month and a half, I realize a month and a half is not a long time. It's going to take people years to get over this. It's going to take me years to get over it, probably. But that just threw me for a loop because in my
Yeah, I mean it's a beautiful backdrop to hear these intensely personal stories of Dave's odyssey through life and divorce.
head, that was like, oh, there's still hope. And the whole time I've been fighting to stop that in my own brain, you know? Like, I don't, I want there to be hope, but I have to act,
Hey Scott.
I have to know that there's not, or I'm not going to be able to move on, you know? And I
Based.
get that. And I know a lot of other people out there are dealing with the same thing. It's like, 20 years, they say it takes what, 6 months for every year that you need to be, or yeah, 6 months for every year or some shit like that you need to be alone or to be
So he's got to be alone for 10 years?
okay to get over a marriage or a
Give me a
relationship.
break,
And
dude.
that's just
You get over your marriage by dipping your wick into some new box, my man.
like, there's no way I'm going to be, not
You can never replace your soon to be ex-wife, but you can replace her in the aggregate.
okay for 10 years or be alone for 10 years. Like, that's crazy. That's not going to happen. Like, I don't know what I would do with myself. And that's something else that I need to talk about. It's you have to turn that sadness of what you're missing now and loneliness into happiness being aloneness, you know. Sorry, my camera's kind of hacking up. um, so I started doing things on my own. I mean, I'd rather not. I'd rather do things with people, but
Oh no,
um,
that's brutal.
not doing things on. So I started doing things on my own.
Dave.
I mean, I'd rather not. I'd rather do things with people, but um, because of the issues that my ex-wife, still
Hey,
my
Izzy.
wife, but soon to be ex-wife had,
Soon to be ex-wife.
I realized that, I gave up a lot of my friends for her, because there was always something wrong with them. I gave up friends. I gave up a lot of socializing.
Look at this backdrop. Look how, oh, what a lush backdrop. These trees, the way they're spaced.
Played video games, and some people will complain, aha, you were playing video games.
Dave is a content king.
And you were ignoring her. No, I played video games and I played things at home because I felt like I always needed to be
I mean, I don't know how the story ends, but he hasn't posted for a while.
home with her, with my family, to make sure things were going to be okay. You know what I mean? So I played video games instead of going out with friends.
Some people in the chat already, I was going to say echolocate. That's not, geolocated him.
To make sure that
which I do not encourage.
And to my ex. And if you hadn't seen my other videos, please like and subscribe. Go back and watch them. I do a lot more shorts now because I realize that's what people are watching. But my ex had
hey, wait, a dog would appreciate it.
Mental
what does that
issues,
mean?
And she still does. And I still, to this day, believe that she is not 100% there right now. But there's nothing I can do about that. I told her before, I just want her to be happy, and if that's not with me, then that sucks,
Hell yeah.
I also realize that due to her conditions that she's likely to never be happy for long.
She's got PTSD, ADHD. What are the other ones? BPD. Bipolar.
So there's really not a lot that I can say or do. I just have to move on with my life, get used to my aloneness, and be happy on my own.
Get used to my aloneness?
It's been a little while since I did a video, and I don't know why necessarily. It's just this was a week that I didn't have my son, so it was just me, and you would think that would be one of the best weeks to do multiple videos, but it's just been really hard. The last video I did was a little over a week ago, I think, and that was about her bipolar, borderline personality disorder, ADHD, PTSD. A huge list of stuff. And nobody really posted on that, so I didn't talk about it more than I did. And it's hard. And a lot of people have said in comments, you need to get over it. You need to keep working on yourself.
It was bad. It was the PTSD that made her bounce on his dick.
Channel into what you're doing to live your life.
This is such a this is such a wild channel to me. Like, this guy is absolutely wild.
And get over it and get better, And that's something I have done. I'm down. Now, of course, this started before the
look how beautiful this is, though.
Divorce, but back in 2021, I was about 272 pounds, and now you can kind of see I'm nowhere near that. I weighed in at about 202 yesterday.
Let's go.
Which I'm proud of. That's almost my high school weight. I'm shooting for 199, and that was just
NDR. You think this is a cautionary tale?
Because that was a nice round number, non-round number, I should say. My kid hates that. He says, well, you're going to have to eat a sandwich or something when you get to 199 because you need it to be an even number. So that was funny, but I wasn't too worried about it. So, but then I'm thinking, you know what? I'm almost at 199. I'm going to go for like 185, and I'm going to see if I've got some abs underneath this little belly fat that I've got left. I used to have a lot of belly fat. I've gone down from size XL t-shirts and clothing and size 38, 40 pants to, medium shirts and 34, 36 pants within, and of course that was within a few months actually. In the month and a
Well,
half.
I mean, he's getting healthier.
I have been
Oh,
working
bridge
towards
content.
this divorce. Like I have
They
a
found a
choice,
bridge.
Right? I've lost.
Good for you, Dave.
24 pounds probably in a month, so almost probably like a pound a day. Of course I had some good days in there where I'd have cheat days, or I was with my family and we would be like, yeah, let's all eat a pizza or something, and I'd overeat. But the idea is I'm not. At first, I started losing weight because I was sad, and I think this is what happens with a lot of people. I was sad, and I just didn't want to eat. I never got to the point where I didn't want to live. I will say, I'll go back a little bit. Part of the reason I'm doing a video today is because I had a rough night last night. I don't think I slept. I may have slept an hour.
I have not slept. I have not ate since I was doxxed with intent by the criminal organization known as Auditors at Harvey Freebird. 300 black teens that have been drinking for hours.
In there. All I could do was think about my ex. This is probably bad to say online. Maybe it'll get me into trouble.
Oh,
I don't
boy.
know. But she doesn't know that I can see her calendar still.
Wow.
And I saw that she has yesterday.
Wow. What a thing to say in a pub. Why would he say that? What is the rationale behind him saying this? By doing it in a video, it's going to be taken negatively instead of just sending her a message and being like, hey, I know you don't want to hear from me right now, but I can still access your calendar, and I wanted you to know that. Dropping it in a video like this is so weird.
Yesterday, I was looking for my son. I wasn't spying on her per se. I was looking for my son. I can usually see where he is on his phone. He was with her, but I couldn't tell where he was.
Do not call the police.
His phone wasn't showing up on location for like 5 or 6 hours. And I thought, that's so weird. What's going on? And he didn't reply to me from text. I was just asking how he was doing. Anyway, I went and I looked at her calendar, and dumbass that I am, digging in further than I should have.
What?
I saw where she had an OBGYN appointment.
Oh, what? Dude, you're looking at her medical information, bro. Come on. I can't believe he's saying this in a fucking public video. I cannot believe it. This is exactly the kind of stuff that her lawyer can use against him to be like, man, this guy's a creep. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like this is a big mistake.
For next week. And it had the nurse on there.
Ain't that right, Linda?
So I was curious.
Man.
And I looked up the nurse, and her specialty is midwife. So that almost made me want to throw up. Midwife. So that almost made me want to throw up for most of the night. You know what I mean?
What's up, Paro?
Could my wife, my still wife, soon to be ex, seriously have gone out and found another man basically before we were even separated, days after she was telling me that she loved me, weeks after saying that I was one of the only things that was keeping her alive over the years due to her suicidal ideations. Within weeks of that, getting pregnant by another guy that she has posted on fucking Facebook about being soulmates.
Oh no, she's posting on Facebook that her and the new guy are soulmates.
Are you kidding me? Facebook.
Oh no.
Within weeks of that, getting pregnant by another guy that she has posted on fucking Facebook about being soulmates. Are you fucking kidding me?
Quit
I
looking
know
at
what you're
her
saying. I know what you're
Facebook
thinking.
then. God damn,
And I know
bro.
some of you have gone through this, and I know some of you are going through it now
I'm getting
because it's
half hot,
constant.
man. I'm getting
You know,
heated.
there's always, I think they said at any point, like a million or
Why do
more
you care what she's posting on Facebook? Why?
divorce cases going on in the United States. So I know some other people are going through this, and it's probably the exact thing. Um, and
This is the kind of guy who just seems like he's just going to keep touching the stove over and over and over again. He's going to keep digging through her stuff until he keeps finding more and more stuff that's just destroying him emotionally. He just can't. Some things you just some things you just shouldn't think about, you know. Nothing good can come from him wondering what's or like watching his ex's Facebook page.
it's it's fucking horrible, you know. It really is. Just that thought that somebody can wholly give up on something so quickly, and I know what it tells us is that she's not stable. I don't. She goes to therapy every week right now. Now,
What is the benefit to making these kind of videos while you're going through an active divorce where like everything you say and your behavior could impact not only how the divorce comes out, but like how custody is set up? Like, oh my God. I don't know what he's thinking.
if she was okay, if she was mentally good, she would not need to go to therapy every week.
Wow.
That tells me that she's not okay. She's faking like she's okay. She's putting on a facade. She's telling people that things are great with this new guy. He's amazing. You know what I mean? But if it
Okay, why is it not okay? I get it if he doesn't think therapy's a good idea, but he is in therapy. Why is he judging her for because he's going every 2 weeks instead of every week? I don't really get it.
was, she wouldn't be in therapy every week. She wouldn't, continue to have all these problems. She's not handling the
Dr.
bills.
David.
She finally
Hey, what's up? It's me.
changed her address on a couple of things. I noticed. So she's getting mail at her dad's, even though she's living with her boyfriend. She's literally started going staying all night with him days after she told me that she wanted a divorce.
He's got to accept. I hope he's able to accept by the time this is over that she didn't move on quickly. She had already moved. By the time she lined up the divorce, I bet you she'd already prepared a new soft nest to land in my opinion. I don't think she just said, "Hey, I want a divorce," and then met a guy that she immediately connected with and moved in with. I just don't think so. I think she was already seeing him.
Within a week or so after telling me that she loved me, you know what I mean? It just blows my mind. But this is why it's fucking with me. When you are in love with somebody, when you feel like you've planned your entire life around being with someone who has
Yeah, I
want to say
agree.
mental
I
disability.
think even if I just don't see any positive outcome for him in posting these videos at the time. Like I get if he just wants to vent or whatever, but during an active divorce, it just seems like a bad idea.
And they are. I know some people
Family warfare.
would not like you to explain it like that, but it kind of is. And obviously get him diagnosed. And this is, I will say, this is not something that I'm making up. I'm not saying, I think she's bipolar. I think she has, no, they are diagnosed. She's had him for a long time. We were married 3 years. She got diagnosed after a few years, apologized, freaked out, wanted me back. I accepted her back.
If you remember, she ran off. Was that the one that ran off with his friend? And then while she was separated from him, or while they were divorced the first time, she got pregnant by the friend, and then she got an abortion to go back with him. And then that's the same woman that is currently divorcing him because he remarried her.
With some caveats, some boundaries. I read some books. I learned how to put my boundaries up, which
Yeah, agreed.
I wasn't
NDR.
good at. I was not good at holding those boundaries. I allowed her to cheat on me. I
Yes,
allowed her to steal from me, things like that.
I think that's kind of an important factor is that he had again like agreed to open the marriage like partially to where she could be with other guys sometimes. But then I really feel like that's especially maybe he thought that if he she would like stay within the sanctioned cheating, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I just feel like he's not really down with that. Like I don't think that's something he wanted to do. So he's got to be like triple kicking himself being in this position.
It's not. It wasn't good. Everybody's telling me now, get out. The
Yes,
therapist
that's
said,
right. True, Joe. She was really young.
on a train, and
18 when I think 18 when they started dating and 19 whenever they got married.
you're along for the ride, you know. And are you okay with that ride? Can you survive mentally on this ride?
Are we back to the same bridge?
You know, and I said it before, I'll say it again. I'll say I wasn't ready to get off the ride. There are still, whenever, people ask me, her mom or even my mom or whatever, it's like I still wasn't ready to give up. She still checks a lot of boxes on something that I want in a person. Um, and eventually I'll probably get over it and find someone who, loves me for just who I am. Somebody that I don't have to fight for, you know? That's the hard part. It's like, because of her issues, mainly borderline personality disorder, it was a
I
constant
think we
fight
all know how Ben Thorpe would feel about this guy.
to relieve her fear of abandonment and non-love. So I constantly,
I think he's kind of confirmed that too. I think Scott by saying like that all of his friends migrated over to her.
either had to
But do you think that's true, or do you think that this guy is kind of introverted and he married an extroverted woman who had a friend group and then they became his friend group by osmosis, but whenever she left, she's going to take those friends with her?
reinforce that feeling in
Give
her?
this guy a break.
And if I didn't, for whatever reason, like if I ever had
I feel bad for him.
issues, like I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling loved, or I wasn't feeling I
Satiated.
don't know. I just didn't feel good.
This is
You
the
know what I mean?
satiated guy.
She would take that as there's something wrong. You know what I mean? And I know people get that a lot in relationships. They'll say, "Oh, women are always like that. They always take everything out of." Well, okay, take that, but in somebody with BPD or bipolar, times it by 20, and that's the feeling that this person gets. You could literally be,
Are you blowing off Humble King? It's me.
just feeling kind of depressed, and to her, it's, you're ready to leave me right now, and I need to do something to make myself feel better. And that can be something like go out and fight a boyfriend. You know
Get
what I mean?
cheeks
So it's like,
clapped.
what do you do? Like, you just have to be prepared for that if you're in a relationship with somebody like that.
He's
And it's
perfect for
fucking
Beth.
sad, but you have to kind of keep an eye on their socials and stuff. And I mean, God forbid, it was 15 years with mine, and I trusted her. I didn't check her socials. I didn't have a lot of her passwords for things,
I didn't have
I
a
just let
lot
it
of her passwords.
slide, because it had been 15
He just let it slide because it's been 15 years.
years. I thought, hell, surely she wouldn't do something like that now, And plus, she had depression and stuff, so a lot of times she would be staying at home anyway. So it was easy enough to pay attention. But I should have noticed she was bringing things up like, oh, just we're too different. We're too different. She was over the last year and a half. I think she was looking for excuses to get out
He
of a
seems
relationship.
open to that kind of thing, Cody Turbo.
And the next time she had an episode, which is in the spring usually, she decided that was the time. When I had a couple of bad times, not a couple, there were probably a few times, a month or so, where I had said something stupid, a bad joke. I never tried to hurt her. I never raised
Bad
any voice
joke.
or anything like that. But there's just,
This is a great video.
she was looking for something. Her therapist said she was
Man, this is
sabotaging her
holy
marriage.
shit. Oh my god, this video is 35 minutes long.
So
Holy
I think
shit.
she was just having that. I don't want to say a midlife crisis, but I kind of think that's what it is. She
Oh, boy.
wanted something that she felt like she was missing.
Okay,
And a lot of people.
I think it's pretty clear she got married super young. This guy seems like a nice guy. He doesn't seem like he's a real Lothario or a real, a real pipe layer. She wanted that, got it from his friend, and then even when they got back together, then they partially opened the marriage, and clearly, like, that's just, I think it's just she feels like probably like she missed out on like her hoe phase.
People do that, males and females.
He should
And
have
that's
tickled her feet.
very likely to be what
What? Tickled her
any of
feet?
your cobwebs. It's very likely to be what any of your relationships, how they ended, because it's just super common. That's people just think, you know what, I'm gonna go out and look for that other 20%, from the 80-20 or the 90-10 thing. That you can look that up. People always think I can go find that 10%. And just like my ex right now, she's got this new guy, and she's like, she thinks in her mind she's putting this fake, oh, I found a guy who's 100% of what I want. You haven't found shit after a month or 2 months. You have. She's putting this fake, oh, I found a guy who's 100% of what I want. You haven't found shit
Yes.
after a month or 2 months.
Based.
You haven't found it. You don't know this guy. You may have known him for a while, but you haven't lived with him. You haven't cleared the room with farts in the middle of your bedroom. You haven't had a depressive episode and just
You ain't
in the
found
middle
shit.
of having sex and upset your significant other so many times that they're also depressed.
Oh,
There's just
boy.
the episode and just in the middle of having sex and upset your significant other so many times that they're also depressed.
Woo.
So, I'm going through my coffee here.
Ain't that right?
I know I'm not
Linda?
really talking about anything. I need to get back to talking about what I'm doing for the loneliness. There's not much to do. My eldest, he's 20. He's moving out this next week, so now it's me in a 3,000 square foot house by myself.
This is
that
fantastic.
have
This
to
is so
think
good.
about every time I come up to it. Look at all this that I built for our family,
Oh my god. What a promo this is.
and there's no family. But every time I
Oh
square
my
foot
god,
now,
this is amazing.
there's not much to do. My eldest, he's 20. He's moving out this next week, so now it's me in a 3,000 square foot house by myself that I, have to think about every time I come up to it. Look at all this that I built for our family, and there's no family. Yeah, I'll probably get custody
Look
of
at
my
all
son, and
that I
she'll hate
built
that.
for my family, but there's no family. Oh man, Dave.
But it's just everything you built for nothing. It seems like I dread to bring this up, but I 100% understand why some men commit suicide. after
What?
things like this. But I want for nothing. It seems it's just everything you built for.
I know,
nothing,
Joe.
It seems like I dread to bring this up, but I 100% understand why some men commit suicide after things like this happen. Um, I've had inklings of it. I've I'm pretty stable mentally, but this can break somebody. You know,
Whew.
they say it is worse than having a death. You know, a close death. Um,
This is just like this is wild content. Like, damn, bro.
it feels like it, but I think you know this is something you can get over. Whereas a death, you know, that's
This
never
is
coming.
very. I mean, this content, watching it, being like high as a kite. It is. It really hits like.
Back. And I guess in a way you could say the marriage is never going to come back. You know, my therapist, going back to that, my therapist
See,
asked me, well, what are you going to do when she does try to come back, whether it be 6 months from now or, you know, 2 or 3.
McHenry is it's McHenry his therapist. What are you gonna do when she comes back 6 months from now, or 2 years from now, 3 years from now? Who knows? Maybe 5 years from now.
Years from now? And I was pretty quick to answer. And
Hey, Doug Garrison.
it's my own answer saddened me, really.
He's at the
Uh,
ball field.
my answer was I would probably want her back because she still checks the boxes of
Oh my
something that
God,
I
this
want to.
guy. He's always talking about checking boxes. What percentage of a person, do you want? Because he's upset because he feels like this guy is giving his wife 100% of what she wants, and that's upsetting to him. But he's always talking about like, oh, this percentage or checking boxes. It just seems like, oh, it's all like a cope.
Person.
Like he's gonna say, oh well, I'll take her back even though she's doing these things that are clearly like, destroying this guy mentally and emotionally. But he's like, well, I'll put up with it because she checks these other boxes here. Like, no, dude.
For my life. But
I'm not even saying she's a terrible person or whatever because I don't know the circumstances, but just you can tell just from these videos that like this dude he's just getting put through the ringer here for whether it's, how much of it's his own fault, I don't know, but he's just seems like he's in a personal hell here.
I don't know if she could handle the boundaries that I would have to set, the rules that I would have to set. Because I believe now, after looking back, and honestly, I'm doing these videos. I told you guys before, I've done these videos for my own therapy, not really to make money, not or anything like that. If I ended up making money on it someday for my drama, so be it. It'll help me raise my son, and I appreciate it. Any subscribers and stuff, but I I don't know.
He
I
welcomes
think that
clippers, Joe.
my ex, part of the reason I believe this is not diagnosed. I believe she has a lot of narcissism. She always talked about her mom having it. I never paid much attention to it other than knowing who Narcissus was in the
Thanks, Randy.
old was it Greek tales. Anyway,
Look at this all
so I
fall. It's
started
starting
looking
to
it
get a
up,
little bit
and
hazy.
I mean, I tell you what,
Maybe that's the camera.
they're like, okay, here's a list of things that they'll do. They'll do this, then they'll do this, and then they'll do this. And she did every one of those things down the list. She also did everything down the list of someone having a.
You think this guy is an egomaniac? I guess though, really, like, I don't know, dude. It is like an egomaniac deep down, like very insecure, because he doesn't really seem to think much of himself.
And this is still going on, having a split during a borderline personality disorder episode. They call it splitting. It's like they invent, like something happens that triggers them, and I know what it was. It was me telling her that if she continued to commit suicide.
Remember when Eric McHenry made the video and he's like, I just want you to know that I got something wrong in the last video and that all you need to know is that net neutrality is ruining the world.
Then try to commit suicide again and again and again. Then we needed to think about our future. And in her head, that was when shit gets hard, he's going to leave me. And that's not what I meant necessarily, but anyway, that triggered her, and she could not get past that. And what she did was she split.
She split.
And right now, it's like she's a different person. And I know if you don't know much about borderline personality disorder, it sounds like split personality disorder. It's not really that. It's has similarities in certain
Do you
ways.
think his kids have seen the videos?
They still have the same general personality, but what they can
Wouldn't
do
you
is,
say that people related to it had to have found out, and like it probably became a topic of conversation, I would think,
is sort of
even if
invent
not an
something
open one.
temporarily that gives them strength, something that gives them power to.
The fact that he's still open to getting back together, I mean, I'm not shaming the guy if he wants to give her another chance after cheating or whatever, but he's not going to do, he's not willing to do what it would take to stay in the relationship. And she's pretty clear on, I think, what she wants, and he's not going to go for it. So I just feel like they're at a complete impasse. And clearly, like, it's taken a huge toll on him.
Try to fix a problem that they perceive, which is a lot like multiple personality disorder. Of course, a lot of times they don't have choices in that, but in this situation, it's very odd because what I'm seeing is she's doing things that she'd never liked to do before. She's trying to make this new guy happy because she needs.
So she's doing things. Okay, I'm getting my weed-addled brain is spinning. He wanted her to play Magic the Gathering with him, and she said absolutely not. Well, now she's playing and loving Magic the Gathering with the new guy, and that's one of the things that set him off. So she's having experiences with the new guy that she refused to have with Dave, and that's upsetting him. But it basically comes down to Magic the Gathering.
She needs energy. She needs what they say, and if she's a narcissist, then what they're saying is that she needs another source, like almost like a vampire, which is really sad, but it's also kind of true.
Oh no!
She needs that source of.
Don't say that. I think you're right, though,
happiness,
Randy.
not happiness.
I think the oldest is a stepson. I think.
Energy. I don't know what it is, but there's a source of fulfillment, I guess you could say, in a way. So I better turn here, get close to some cars. Anyway, yeah, she's forgetting things. She's taking our son to do things that she
look
should
at this
know.
shot. I mean, look at this beautiful backdrop. We got this rustic heartland vibe. Fantastic work, Dave.
That he doesn't like to do. But it's like she doesn't know. It's wild. It's fucking wild.
Fucking wild, man.
He has told me.
He has told him
he doesn't want to be with her. He wants to live with me and just visit her sometimes.
Oh, okay.
The past couple times I've taken him back.
Hold on, I think I missed some context here.
Son to do things that she should know that he doesn't like to do. Things that
so when she has the kid, he's saying that she's taking him places that she shouldn't be taking him.
She should know that he doesn't like to do.
Oh. So she's taking him on activities or whatever that he doesn't like, according to Dave.
Yeah, she's forgetting things. She's taking our son to do things that she should know that he doesn't like to do. But it's like she doesn't know. It's
no
wild.
Second takes for McHenry.
It's fucking wild. He has told me he doesn't want to be with her. He wants to live with me and just visit her sometimes. The past couple times I've taken him back to her when it was my turn to visit, he said he didn't want to go back. He said he just didn't want to be there. And that's fucking sad, but he sees it as well. He sees that it's like, this is not my mom. You know?
I hope do you think he's saying this stuff to the kid? Because this is really weird that he thinks that he's projecting onto this kid, in my opinion.
Oh.
from what it sounds
It's
like.
somebody who's trying to be my friend, but she also keeps insinuating this new guy into my son's life. Um, and it's sad because he's like, well, at least the guy's nice. And I'm like, well, no, you don't really know the guy very well. And she doesn't really either. She has no business doing that. So she's doing that and about 20 other things that are on the list of things you really should not do um, while you're going for custody of your son. And sadly, because of all of her issues and
Oh my
probably
God, listen to
narcissism.
this. What a comment from Randy Wanzer. The wife is faking her illness just like she faked orgasms. She used that as an excuse to have free time to go give out box while Dave's at work. Brutal. But
From what I
sounds
found out
like
online,
true.
she will probably fight this court case and not settle beforehand, which means it's going to end up costing us both a shitload of money. And she's still
Well,
not
let's
going to get
put
what
it
she
this
wants.
way. She's had, I think, in Dave's terms, not mine, his words were like that she had been in 3 or 4 long-term affairs with other men.
So I'm waiting for this car so I can go out on the road. It's a little wet, a little nasty here this morning. So my shoes are getting wet in the grass, in the dew on the grass. So I'm walking down the street now. I'll get back into the park down here in a minute. Yeah, this is getting to be a long video now. I know nobody's going to listen this long, but if you're interested, you're interested. Like I said, if you want to learn more about it,
Oh
just ask
no.
me. I'll give you my drama. Last night I did something interesting. I went to see a 16 millimeter
What do you think? Interview with Dave?
showing of Night of the Living Dead, the original, 1966, I believe. That was pretty cool. They were talking artsy about it, and I was like, I'm not into the art crap. I just thought it'd be interesting. I needed to do something. I need to be out. I will say this, if somebody's still listening that gives a shit about any of this, the loneliness, you got to get out. You just got to get out. I've met so many people, and so many people, I say so many. It's not as many as I would like, and it's not.
It sounded to me like it was a one-sided arrangement because I think honestly he's not interested in anybody else. He just, I think, agreed to let her do it because he wanted to keep her happy. But like once she got like give a mouse a piece of cheese and then she wanted it instead of as like a treat every once in a while, she wanted it on in the regular rotation, and that was a no-no for him. But then she was having like long-term affairs, which I'm assuming the when he says affairs, he's saying that like in addition to the agreed upon time that she was engaging in behind his back, because when you say affair, that kind of insinuates to me that it's cheating. So she was getting it like legally in front of him with his approval, but then also engaging in like long-term cheating affairs behind his back.
I'm not connecting with him very well, um, like a permanent connection. It's more like a one-off chat, and then the next time I see him on the street or something, I wave,
But like I don't
and
think
that's
he's
it. But
interested in that. He
I mean,
just did
eventually
it to make her
that'll probably
happy, I bet.
develop into other friendships and things like that. But it's you have to do it. You have to. Like, if you don't do that, you're going to be way more sad than if you were
But
by
don't you agree
yourself.
that he seems to choose his words pretty specifically? Like I feel like affair means cheating. Not just like, oh, she was hooking up with the same she was meeting up with the same bull repeatedly. I think affair insinuates that it was a breaking the covenant.
Right? Does that make sense? I don't know. I kind of lost. There's dogs freaking out. So
Yeah, maybe he he was thinking just to, give her the finger cuffs on her on her birthday.
you got to get out there and you got to do stuff. Walking is great. Yesterday,
Woo!
I was able to run 6 miles straight in under an hour, and that made me feel great about myself. Um, I weighed in lower than I had in a long time. I shaved, and I don't know if I like it or not. I posted on Facebook to see what other people thought of it. I kind of have a baby face now. I definitely don't look like I'm in my age now, other than around my eyes a little. But it's morning. It's early morning. If you can't sleep, don't just sit on your ass and do nothing. Get up and take a walk or something. Hell, make videos like this. You know?
Okay,
I'll watch
Dave.
your channel. Post your channel on the bottom here and subscribe to mine. I'll subscribe to yours. We'll watch each other's videos. Gives you something to do. You know? I'm up above almost 10,000 views on.
Let's
Of course, a
go.
lot of those are shorts. A lot of people watch them real quick. I learned to keep them under about 1 minute. That way people watch more of them. But I don't know. I'm not going to make any money anytime soon. I've only got about 30 hours watched. So that's not happening. I'm not going to get that. What?
I
10,000.
think really, unless you're getting just a shit ton of views, you've got to be a streamer to get those watch hours. And even then, you've really got to get a decent amount of like consistent viewership to hit those 4,000 hours.
Hours or anything anytime soon. But I don't know. Gives me something to do. It always does make me feel better after videos. It's like an extra therapy session. And I know if you're like me, I was never into therapy. I wasn't.
All right, when we finish the whole series, when we get it done, I will comment on the most recent video and ask Dave if he wants to do a Discord call with me.
I said it before and I say it again. One of my downsides was I didn't feel like I needed therapy with my wife. But being a dumbass that I am, I wasn't picking up that when she was asking me if she thought that I needed to go, that we should go to therapy. Gentlemen,
I think people have pointed out like the eyebrows. You think it might be a filter? Why would he have on a filter to make it look like he's wearing makeup though?
or women probably. If your significant other asks you if you think that we need to go to therapy, that means they think we need to go to therapy. And you need
Well, let's finish our business with Dave before we pass him over to the Thorpes in case there's any hard feelings in that process. Let's get our cut first.
go to therapy, and you need to find out what's wrong. And you need to find out if what's wrong is something that's fixable.
No. I use Discord. I don't have a Discord channel. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have a server.
The vast majority of divorces are not mutual. They're not.
Oh my God, subtle eyeshadow.
One person's going to hold on longer.
Oh my God. Wow.
And that's...
One person is going to hold on longer, and that's reality.
That's reality. I don't know what to tell you. That is what it is. And it's usually men, because men just don't want to give up. Sometimes, even if they're... Even if they're a little...
I thought I was having like a psychotic break for a second there.
Video. Sometimes, even if they're... my blue eyes, they give up. Sometimes, even if they're... my blue eyes.
Oh my gosh.
Even if they're a little... just don't want to give up. Sometimes, even if they're... my blue eyes, ladies. Even if they're a little more unhappy. I've said this in another video. Better the unhappiness or the uncomfortable that you know than the unhappiness or uncomfortable that...
I'm gonna lose it, I swear.
Is, you by yourself with nothing. The unknown. That's the worst thing for most people. That's probably one of the biggest fears.
I can't believe
Not
this. I
being
can't believe
left,
this
but
exists.
just the unknown, having no idea what's going on, having no control, which is that is being left. That's a part of it. Being left is somebody removing what you loved or what you had control over. And sadly, I think what part of my problem that I need to realize is that my ex probably left because she couldn't control me. I read the books, Stop Walking on Eggshells, and I Love You, Don't, I Hate You, Don't Leave Me. That's the borderline. And she read, she looked through the Stop Walking on Eggshells a little while back, and she actually told me, this blows my mind. She told me, I reread that book, and that kind of pissed me off. And that's when I started thinking that she was probably narcissist. The idea that somebody else had to set boundaries for their own mental fucking health pissed her off. Blows my mind. That literally, that's like had to set narcissist. And that I reread that book, and that kind of pissed me off. And that's when I started thinking that she was probably narcissist. The idea that somebody else had to set boundaries for their own mental fucking health pissed her off. Blows my mind. That literally, that's like a vampire being pissed off because you won't let him into your house. You know? It's like, what fucking right do you have? Bunny rabbit. What right do you have? Like, what fucking right do you have? Bunny rabbit. What right do you have to fuck other people over for your own happiness? To fucking right do you have? Let them into your house. You know? It's like, what fucking right do you have? Bunny rabbit. What right do you have to fuck other people over for your own happiness? And something like that is one of the only things that helps me to learn and to understand that I have to do this alone,
Oh,
probably. I'll probably
sorry.
find somebody else, but that relationship probably wasn't healthy for me.
Oh my God.
I got unhealthy physically, but now I'm getting back to that, and I could have done that, and that was something too. I think I started getting healthy a couple of years ago, and running and things like that, and I think she didn't like that. She didn't.
Oh my! He's taking a break at the Boy Scout building.
She wasn't an exerciser, so I think
He's doxing the Boy Scouts.
she got kind of maybe jealous. I don't know if it was jealousy, but I think she got upset because I was doing something that she had no control over. And I told her early
What
on,
fucking right do
I said,
you
look, we
have,
need to
Bunny
make
Rabbit,
an understanding here that
to fuck over other people?
I don't want to ever feel bad for working out. I didn't do it excessively. I did it 2 or 3 times a week, usually at weird times when it didn't affect our family life. So I told her, I was like, I can't let you make me feel bad for doing this. If I need to go out for a walk for an hour, I need to go out for a walk for an hour to
Lemon
get
Thunder
energy,
in the
to feel
stand.
better, to lose weight, I felt terrible. I felt like winded going upstairs and stuff. So anyway, this is a really long video. It's the longest one I've done in a long time. I'm not sure if anybody's going to be watching this anymore, but I'll post it in a little bit. I need to find a title for it because I'm just fucking rambling. So hope you guys listen, but if not, I understand. Have a better day than I had yesterday. I hope I have a good day today. It's Father's Day. I get my...
Oh no! Oh man! Oh, he's making this video ranting in this on Father's Day.
son at noon. We're gonna have a good time. This week we got some stuff planned. I'm gonna do better. Want you to do better.
Jeez.
Love you guys. Have a good one.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Have a good one.
Love you guys. What? Love you guys. Oh my gosh! Wow. All right, here we go. Another long video. Life update, triathlon training, provisional custody hearing, and dating.
Hey, everybody. It's been a little while since I've done a video.
Oh, we're back to the Starry Night.
Just been working on myself a lot, doing some workouts, some new workouts. I decided I'm going to do a triathlon at the end of August, so that should be interesting. The main focus of this video is going to be in about a week. I've got the provisional court date, and that is for
I know.
I don't want to say emergency, but sort of a preliminary.
But you know what? It makes it all the more keno, Randy. He's going to be suffering either way. He might as well be suffering for our entertainment, you know? At least this way he's getting something out of his suffering.
Judgments.
You saw how downtrodden he was saying, oh, nobody's going to watch my video this long. And we watched it from start to finish. We're here for this guy, and he's here for us.
For
bros before hoes.
Divorce case with custody until mediation and things
this
like
that. This guy's a real downer. Nice find.
Later, which could take a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. I know some people.
No offense to any hoes in chat.
Just waiting. So hopefully it'll get done. But because of some of the issues that I mentioned in some of my other videos, I'm asking for full custody.
Oh boy.
Of my 11-year-old. And I know that's odd for a dad.
Clip on mic.
Fix this real quick. It's different for a dad to try to do that. And if you watch some of my other videos, then you'll know what my circumstances are with my wife, soon to be ex-wife, and why I'm asking for custody.
I think he's gotten one time the whole time that he said like ex-wife, or he always says my wife, my soon to be ex-wife.
Yeah, I think it's in the best interest of him. And I don't want to take anything from her.
She a shower curtain
necessarily, or unnecessarily, I guess I should say. The point is to make sure that he's safe. I tried to do that before we went to court, and there were some stipulations that I put in that she disagreed with, and I get it. I think that when we go to
I think as far as the stipulation, he was saying that if one of them, the stipulation that he wanted was that if either of them were involuntarily committed to a mental institution, then they would forfeit custody, and she wouldn't agree to that. And then he was like, he thought that was like a gotcha moment, like, oh well, you wouldn't go against this if you didn't think you might, end up institutionalized.
Court, it's going to end up worse for her.
Hey, listen, ATF media, this isn't mindless garbage, as you call it. This is a man's life. This is a man's journey through life and divorce. Show some respect to this guy.
And
put some respect on his name.
Would have if she would have just taken what I kind of offered earlier. I know she feels like I'm upset about the money.
It's not a V-neck. Why do you think it's not a V-neck? Is it? I feel like it's just the clip-on mic pulling the collar down. I don't think it's a V-neck.
Thing, but it's halvesies. Like, yes, I don't necessarily feel that it was an even contribution over the years, but I get it. I understand it. It is what it is, and that's what she gets. So that's I'm not mad about it. You know what I mean? A lot of people.
Yeah, he wanted the stipulation because he, I think, planned to try to get her committed from the way that he made it sound.
People get mad about it. Oh, she'll take you for half. Well, yeah, that's pretty standard stuff. I mean, there were quite a few things that I had pre-marriage that I can claim as. Sorry about the weird camera here. It's acting a fool. I'll try to stay more still so it won't wobble so much. But
oh, he's got a King TL camera.
Yeah, so that's
I got to get a drink.
I really don't have anything to do with my what with this judgment. This preliminary judgment is to, sorry, provisional judgment is to set up his schooling for the next year, because I don't know what I don't know how long it's going to take, and it could easily take another month, and we need to make sure this is locked in with his. This is driving me nuts. Yeah, get it to stop. Oh, still screwy. Woo! There we go.
Oh shit! I'm missing the room tour.
Let's do this. Yeah, get it to stop. Oh, still screwy. Woo! There we go.
All right. I think we saw this in an earlier video, actually.
Let's do.
Well, I mean, the rest of the room we saw.
Maybe I'll stay still now. Okay. So, so I want to get his schooling locked in. The ex still hasn't really found a place to live. She said she was going to live with her dad. Then she said she was going to, for a while, until she found an apartment. Now she's, as far as I know,
Shave his
from what I've been
eyebrows?
told,
No.
what I understand, she's not looking for an apartment or something on her own. She's looking for it with her new boyfriend, which started about.
Aren't these? Well, I don't know. Is that are these just shadows? Now you've got me questioning.
Days after she decided she wanted a divorce, so that was probably set up beforehand. Surprise, surprise. I love you, I love you, I love you. I don't anymore. That's beautiful. Everybody loves that. Being lied to for who knows how long, till the last minute, till they get everything.
Oh my
set up
god, dude!
Monkey branching for who knows how
Monkey
long.
branching.
Anymore. That's set up days.
Okay,
after.
yeah. So he's saying basically what I said earlier, like that she had a comfy nest set up so that when she let go of him, she'd land comfortably with the new guy. And he's calling it monkey branching, like you don't let go of one branch until you've got a hold of the next one. That makes sense.
She decided she wanted a divorce, so that was probably set up beforehand. Surprise, surprise. I love you, I love you, I love you. I don't anymore. That's beautiful. Everybody loves that. Being lied to for who knows how long, till the last minute, till they get everything set up for their next monkey branching. But regardless, so I have this provisional.
That could be a Ben Thorpe line, Shabatoni.
Case coming up, and I'm asking for full custody, and it's different for men to do that normally. I realized that, while she already had a plan and a person to go to before this happened, I did not, and I'm still hurting, and I still love her, and I still miss her, and I still wish we could make things work, even though I know it's probably I shouldn't. You know what I mean? And that's fine. People are telling me I dodged a bullet, and
I just think regardless of what happened and whatever, I just feel like this is not the relationship for him. This seems like it seems like it's a little bit above his difficulty level.
Else, why be with somebody who lies to you over the years? Why be with somebody who cheated on you? Why be with somebody who stole from you? Who always finds fault in almost all of your friends.
Oh, that's right. She would steal money to go on little trips with the bulls, like take them to, they'd go like live it up and run up a big bill, and then she'd come home and this guy would have to pay the bill off.
Sometimes even her own friends. Anyway, so I realized that asking for full custody is going to make it much harder for me to find another person. It's going to be hard for me to go out on dates and things like that. That's going to be the tough part. Obviously, the ex will still have him plenty of visitation. I'm not trying to take away all visitation or anything like that. That's not a thing.
Yeah, that's Cicero.
Like, I'm mad at her, but I'm more mad that she lied to me and about loving me, not about anything to do with our children. So she's still their mom. Well, the oldest one moved out. This is my first full week of me just being alone in a huge house, so that sucks. But I'm dealing with it. I haven't cried in about a week, so that's nice.
No, oh no.
Although my little one, he thought I was going to the other day in the car, and he grabbed my hand and held it up to his face, real, it was beautiful. And he said, Daddy, it's okay if you want to cry. I understand. And I was like, well, thank
Oh no, Daddy, it's okay if you want to cry. Oh, his child is like trying to emotionally comfort and stabilize this guy.
you. I didn't plan on it, but what I was talking about was I was talking about I moved some of her stuff to the garage, and it's very hot this week where we live, and across most of the United States, I think it's really hot. And I didn't want the stuff in the garage to be damaged. And he says, "Well, who cares? It's not our stuff." And I said, "Well, buddy, I'm still a good person. And I don't want to hurt your mom for no good reason. So I don't want her stuff to be damaged out there. And some of it might have, aerosols. There's some bathroom stuff in there, or some clothing stuff that could be damaged. And I didn't want that to happen. But I never ended up going out there and looking. I did bring a television in because that was expensive. But all the little stuff, I mean, I'm not going to go pick through it all.
What
It's
was
not.
the point of this story then? I thought he was gonna say like, yeah, so I didn't want her stuff to get damaged, so I brought it in. So he did all that build up just for nothing to tell us that he brought a TV in. What was the point of this? This was like there was no point to the story.
It's been in there for a month now, and while she's going with her boyfriend, so why is it my
You're
problem
glazing him
anymore?
on the. Are any of the Freebird trolls still in his comments?
So anyway, back to the provisional hearing. I know I'm going to have less free time with
Hey, South to West, I got 2 gold coins yesterday in the chat.
full custody if I get full
I
custody.
looked it up, but I still don't really understand what it is. I guess like if you certain partners they opted out of like you can't send super stickers anymore. They're replaced by those like things like you would send in a vertical stream.
Custody. I very well might, and I hope that I do because from what I
But I
understand,
still
in
don't
most
really get
cases,
the
if you get provisional
functional difference.
custody early on, they aren't likely to change it later when the final judgment and things come around, because they made the decision for a reason. Then basically the other person
Freebird
who wants it
mercs.
different needs to prove otherwise, and she's really not going to be able to. She's not acting rationally lately. She's not. Um, she has all kinds of medication issues. She's got all of her mental issues, that and things that have happened over the last
Bipolar,
couple of years. Well,
BPD,
hell, 15,
PTSD,
20 years.
ADHD.
So there's a lot there that it can't be. It's not going to look good. And then some stuff where he called me in the middle of the night, upset, and wanted me to come pick him up already. And I get that. That happens. It happens to a lot of people. And you want to help the kid. You want to help your child, but you can't always.
Thanks, South to West.
It's the court. You know what I mean? That's
Thank you for the gold coin. I really don't understand it, but I appreciate it.
mom's time, or that's dad's time, and they get that time, and it's up to them to manage that child, even if the child's pissed at them. There are going to be times that he's going to be pissed at me. I get it. I understand.
Thank you, Randy,
Um,
for the gold coin.
and I'm going to have to handle that. He's already told me that I've acted calmer with him and better with him.
Courtney's gonna take me to court and think I'm laundering all these gold coins for the Thorpes.
And I have. And I said, buddy, I know it seems like that, and I know, but I think a lot of part of that is with this huge, stab to my heart. I had to reevaluate my whole life, my whole the life that I've built, not my childhood or anything like that. So that's going to make me kind of lighten up a bit. There's some things that I probably did in the past that I regret, and I regret them more now.
Oh boy.
And that happens,
The classic gold
anyway,
coin arc.
back to the provisional. I'm going to have less time to go out, less time to meet people, although there will be people to help watch my son, and he's happy with him. And he's almost a teen now. He's a preteen, but he's
Man, I don't even remember when I went and got this
he can
drink.
stay
That's
home
not a
by
good
himself.
sign.
He stays home when he's here for a half an hour, and I'll go out running. I've allowed him to stay home for an hour and a half, so that he wouldn't have to get up. It's summer right now, so he didn't have to get up early in the morning. I had to go to work. My mom picked him up to take him somewhere at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, yeah, you can hang out for 2 hours. You'll be fine. All he did was play video games and eat breakfast. He's fine for a couple hours. So that he can do that. I mean, and he's to the point, in a year, in a couple of years, where I could leave him on a Friday night and
I should say also that this has 7 views, which to me is it's
go
criminal.
out on a date, and he would be okay. So that's not a problem coming up. I think it's a little bit of a problem now. He takes a little extra work because he has some of his own things that he requires. So um, I'm gonna have to take more paid time off at work because of
Oh boy.
doctor's appointments, things like that. A lot of places will allow you to flex your time, and I can do that. They're pretty good. I'm lucky with that situation. I
It's just it's wild to think that this guy has like a what sounds like to be a pretty good job. Like I don't know, it's just I wonder how he interacts with people at work and stuff.
can go in at 7 instead of 8, work through lunch, and
Do you
leave
think he
2 hours
tells
early.
them these stories, his coworkers?
Or so
He doesn't if he doesn't have any like IRL friends and I mean it doesn't sound like he's reaching anybody with these videos, sub 10 views, is he using his coworkers as like emotional tampons, you think?
that helps a lot. They're very understanding where I work, so that helps. Um, I also have to put more time into working with this other parent to help explain things that happened. If
He
if
just
I'm the
he does
main,
not.
if he lives with me, you know, 7 out of every 9 days, what have you, then there's going to be a lot that I'm going to have to jot down and explain to the other parent. So that's going to be something that will also need to be done, depending on how that split ends up working.
He's got to
I
jot
think
down
he
some
would be
notes.
best living with me because she's actually moving. Well, first of all, he doesn't want to move in. My son does not want to move in with her and this new boyfriend. He says he's nice enough, but he doesn't know the guy. And to be honest with you, if you've seen one of my other videos, anybody who would get into a relationship with somebody before they've even talked to their significant other about divorce is not a good person. And
Why
my
would
son knows that.
you think he
He knows
dresses
that
like
that's
up like a
not
woman
the
for
thing that
work just because he wears some light makeup?
normal, healthy relationships start with. You know what I mean? That's not what normal, healthy, mentally healthy people do. Um, so he sees that he's picked things up on his own. I haven't had to tell him a lot. He's smart. He's very,
We're Dave's therapists now.
very
We're
smart.
taking over.
Uh, he and my older son, who's 20 to 20 something now, they're not happy about the situation. They're not happy how
Oh, you
she's
saw the
treated me.
picture?
They're not happy with her. They both want to distance themselves from her, and that makes me sad. But it also makes me feel good about the part that I played in raising them and what is the moral and right thing to do. You know what I mean? Especially with other people, especially with the people that you care about the most. I mean, she's still my ex still is the most the
High
most
Methadone Clinic.
she was the most important thing in my entire life. Like everything was built around it, even around the kid, with the kids and stuff like that. And then it's just to rip your heart out. It's
Oh
like,
my
how do
God.
you deal with that?
Come
It's
on,
going to take me
Dave.
years. And I'm good. I got a lot of friends now. I'm
Eh.
finding new people. I'm actually getting a lot of interest from women
Oh
now,
boy.
and that's interesting. You know what I mean? I didn't have it. I guess I did. If you see it, a lot of men might see this over the years. It's like when you're single, nobody's interested. When you're taken, you have that confidence that you don't have when you're
What?
single sometimes, and women see that confidence and they're drawn to that.
So he thinks that women are drawn to his confidence?
Women are drawn to
I do think there are women who like to hook up with married guys, but I mean, I don't think that he's insinuating that you can be a one and you'll be flooded with pussy if you're married. I don't think that's true.
people who are married already or in a relationship, and it sucks, but that's how it is.
Oh
So,
wow, chili garlic
but now I've
potato
kind of,
bites.
as a little bit older man now, I
Did you answer me
have
on
some of that
Discord, by the
confidence
way?
left over, even though I just got shit on, uh, damaged left over. As a little bit older man now, I have some of that confidence left over, even though I just got shit on.
Do you think that's how he explains it to the women that are interested in him? Be like, yeah, I've got some confidence left, even though my ex-wife just shit on me again. My wife, my soon-to-be ex-wife.
uh, damaged. You know what I mean? I still have that confidence, and people, women are seeing that now. Even some other men are seeing that, and they're being drawn to me, and I like it. I'm not saying I'm going to go out and get crazy and date everybody I see, but I mean, I've had a few offers, and I've had a couple of women who said, I like you. You're very
Don't
handsome, and we
repeat what I
talked for a
told you
while,
in
but
Discord in the
you're not
chat, both of them.
divorced yet, and I don't want to marry. Sorry, I don't want to date someone who's not divorced. And I said, I totally get that. That makes 1,000%, sense. I totally get it. I'll be around. We can chat. Um, you know, and that's
Okay,
fine.
what do you guys think? Just be 100%. Let's keep it 100, okay? 1 to 10, 1 being the least confident, 10 being the most confident. Where do you think this guy reads? We've seen hours of his content now. Where do you think he rates on a confidence scale 1 to 10? 10 being most confident.
I get it.
We're all
I'll be
friends
here. I'm
here.
going to keep
Complete
working on myself.
honesty.
I need to work on myself on my being alone before I, work on dating again.
Cope.
And I mean, like yesterday or the day
No,
before, I
don't
think I
repeat
said
it.
I'm not dating yet. I kind of went on one yesterday, so, but it was a very small, very short one, very more of a friendly thing. Um, but it made me feel good. It was more for me and this other girl to kind of just get used to being out in social situations again, and that
Three,
was
two,
nice. It's
one.
funny that I call her a girl. It's just a weird habit in our brain. She's actually a year older than me.
Like, do you think he really believes that he's projecting confidence, or do you think he's practicing, like, he's reading books, or his therapist is saying, like, hey, listen, fake it till you make it? Do you think it just doesn't? I can't imagine that he really deep down views himself as a confident person.
But it's funny. So yeah, so I still have a lot. I do
He's
still have a lot of
sneaky.
sadness and regret for the things that I think that I could have done better in a marriage. However, I think a lot
the
of that.
the wife sharing, I think, is a little bit unique in this case because it's not like he's like a Hormaxer type guy who just wants to like hedonism max. He was a reluctant cuckold, so like I don't think he wanted to go along with any of that, but he did anyway. And I just feel like that's kind of a, like, again, if he would have been okay with it, or like, that would have been his thing or whatever, that's fine. But since he didn't want to do it but did it anyway, I don't think that really speaks to a high confidence level.
That is just it's just
Because
because
if he
of
had confidence, he would have been like, "Hell no, I'm not gonna do that," and like, you're not gonna leave over this anyway, and don't bring it up again.
the things that we built over the
Watch
years. You know what I mean?
yourself.
It's a regret of losing the things that I had, the future that I had planned. It's regret over losing the
He
person that
cried
that
to
was
his
there
children.
through
That's
like the
cold,
birth of my child. I
Scott. That's cold,
This is
man.
more of a new thing, I think, over the
But
last
it's
20 or 30
true.
years,
So
but I was in there holding her hand, while she was having the baby, like. And if you've seen that and you see everything that comes out of there and stuff, it changes your life.
eh.
It's messy, it's hard, it's amazing at the same time. It's all those things, and to be there, and I feel like that puts
Don't
such a
bring it up
connection
again,
between
woman.
her and I that would never go away.
Now spread
It
them
can't.
cheeks.
There's absolutely nothing that can stop somebody being unhappy. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the 100 things that you did if the 10 things you did wrong are more important to that other person. It is what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna have regret for a long time. I'm gonna have sadness for a long time, but I'm also gonna move on.
Gonna have regret for a
Decide
long time. Gonna have sadness for a long time.
decided I'm gonna try to run a mini triathlon. I believe I mentioned that earlier. I'm going to at the end of August. So I've
Yeah,
got
I
some.
think Hormaxer would want to fornicate with Dave's wife. I got another perfect pause too. Fantastic. I'm the pause king. Let's face it. Give me my flowers.
some training to do. I'm not starting from scratch. I've been a swimmer my whole life. I've been a runner. I don't do a lot of biking because I'm a big guy. I'm 6'5" and around 200 pounds now. So
Wow,
biking's never
six
been fun
five
for
and
me. Just I don't know, my
oh,
back.
bro, imagine being 6'5" and you can't. That's rough. This is a another great pause.
Balance, my size, something. So, but I'm going to do that, and I'm going to. This last weekend, my youngest son and I, we
Hey,
did an
Cosa
obstacle
Nostra.
course, 3 miles and about 15, 16 obstacles, and I didn't think he could do it. Honestly, I swear, and
I
he
didn't
did
believe
it,
in
and
my
he busted
child.
his ass, and he did things that I didn't know he could ever do, and it made me so proud of him. And we had such a good time, and he loved. He was exhausted, and he was this close to giving up, and he didn't, and he finished it. And at the end, the last obstacle was like a slip and slide down a hill where they were shooting.
Yes, he's doing a triathlon to kind of. I mean, at least it's productive. It's at least he's not falling into like an alcoholic spiral or something.
Fire hoses on water on it. It was awesome.
Better to
We were all
gym
muddy
max
because we had
than
climbed through some
drug
stuff,
max.
and they hosed us off with a fire hose, and then uh, they didn't have any places to change, which really
He really elicits like strong reactions in people. I like that. Can you believe though, Cosa Nostra? Only 7 people have ever seen this. Isn't that crazy? Hey everyone, been a while. I've been focusing a lot on personal growth lately. Oh.
really kind of sucked. And I'm gonna mention that to him for next time. Like, give us a tent or something. I'm not changing a porta potty. Sorry, but so we ran immediately to the game store downtown because he wanted to also play Dungeons and Dragons. I mentioned that in another one of my videos. We like playing Dungeons and Dragons, and we'd have a good time together. So we rushed to the game store and
Here comes
ran to the
Cicero.
bathroom and changed our clothes and came out and started the game of D&D and played that for like 3.5 hours.
There he is.
And by the end of that,
The gray T
he was done.
Rex.
He was exhausted, but it was such a great day. And then the next day, Sunday, we went to the Renaissance Fair,
I don't do
which is
shit,
about an hour and a
man.
half away. We only stayed for about 2 hours because, as I
I
said,
can't
it
think of a worse thing to do than a marathon.
was
It'd be
super
awful.
hot this weekend. Well, past weekend and today, and it's going to be all week. Um,
7 views is a satanic lie. Kill him right now, God.
but it was amazing, and his older brother went, and so it was the three of us guys, and we went, and it
The
was
other 7 views are his wife's lawyer. I can't honestly. This is some of every time. Like I think like things can't get more personal in these. I feel like this is like beyond personal.
amazing.
This feels like something that was left behind, like in case of suspicious death or something.
And and I would have loved to have had my wife there, my soon-to-be ex-wife. I would have loved to have had her there. She may not have loved every bit of that. She definitely wouldn't have done the obstacle course. Wouldn't have. Nope, not happening. That's not her thing. Exercise was never her thing. And I think that hurt us.
She
I
might
think
be getting
we
exercise
probably
with the
jumped
new
in a
guy.
little early without having enough in common. And that's something I'm looking for in a new
What up, Paro?
person. I need to make a list of things that I'm looking for in a person.
We need to check those boxes.
And of course, one of those is going to call me an asshole. Is going to be not having mental issues because I can't.
Okay, first box for Dave and a new woman. Not crazy. Okay.
Do that again.
You're talking about my
I
future
can't learn a
wife.
whole new person. Um, I still know about my wife slash ex-wife. I know about her things, and I wish she would change her mind, and we could work on things, and I could do the things that I'm supposed to do better, but I'm not sure that she could fix the things that she did wrong, and I think that's part of why it's
You're
never
my
going to
best
happen.
friend's future wife,
She
Lisa.
knew once she made this decision
Why are you
that
doing this?
there was no going back this time, because this is the second time that she's done it, and it sucks, you know. But like I said, I'm gonna find a better life, I think, and I definitely do. I'm not one of those people who will be okay being alone.
Well, vlog about it first, Cosa Nostra, so I can do a story about it. So I can do a review series.
I mean, I could.
If you ever go clown shoes mode.
That was my one of my things. I'm a secure attachment person. I can be alone. I just don't want to. I don't enjoy. I'm not going to get the best joy out of life without sharing it with someone. That's what I want. You know what I mean? Even if that's my kids. You love sharing. Oh, these are the things that I did with when I was growing up, and you want to do that with your kids. you can do the same thing, and you should do the same thing with your significant other. And but you, it doesn't help if your significant other isn't interested in the things that you did, or looks at them. We grew up different places, different, almost 10 years apart, my ex and I, and there were things that I would tell stories about from the '90s, and she would just be like, "That's stupid. Why would you do that?" Or like, I don't fucking know. It was fun. It was fun. You know what I mean? It was fun because it was stupid. There were things that
So he would tell her stories from his childhood, and she would tell him that she thought he was stupid.
I would tell stories about from the '90s, and she would just be like, "That's stupid. Why would you do that?" Or like, I don't fucking know. It was fun. It was fun.
That's true. She did she got knocked up by multiple guys during her excursions.
I mean, it was fun because it was stupid. It was fun because it was dangerous. It was fun. You know what I mean? Kids don't do that anymore. They do stupid shit that's dangerous, like a lot of these challenges and stuff. Oh, let me stick a firecracker in my butt and light it. It's funny.
What?
But, I don't know.
Was he trying to impress her by saying that he put a firecracker up his ass and lit it? Like, and what did he think her response to that would be? Like, oh, that's amazing. What's that? Is that a real, is that a real knee spreader?
Personal preference. I'm digressing, I guess, now. So, yeah, I still feel like I should offer one more time to work things out again, but I don't think.
I think he was like this, Cosa Nostra, because she had multiple like cheating. He said 3 to 4 like cheating affairs, like stuff behind his back, and he was allowing her to meet up with men on select occasions. So I think he was probably all. I don't think we're seeing much of a shift probably, and he's open about it that he wants to go back. He doesn't want to. He still doesn't want to get a divorce.
I don't think I'm going to, and I'm sure you guys. If anybody gets this far into this
David
video,
admitting
please
to
comment
butt play.
if you'd like. Tell me what you think. If you've watched, obviously, if you haven't watched my other videos, then you're not going to have that much to go on. But
we know it all. We know everything.
You're almost everybody is probably going to say don't do it. There's a better option for you out there.
She was definitely cheating on him. Like, okay, the first time they were married, she was cheating on him with his his best friend, and then whenever it got discovered, his best friend basically, took off with his girl, knocked her up. Then he dumped her after getting her pregnant, and then she wanted to come back to Dave, and I don't know whether she just did it to increase her chances, but she got an abortion, and then they got remarried, and then that's when the 3 or 4 affairs, the occasional recreational bowl visit, kind of played into where we are now.
It just sucks that it feels like it's like I wasted time, but I didn't waste time. I have all these memories that I cherish, even though I borderline hate the person.
He took her back after she cheated with his best friend and got the abortion. He took her back and remarried her. After that, then she had 3 to 4 long-term cheating affairs, plus the bull, like she could have a bull every once in a while as a treat. But then she wanted to turn the occasional visits into having like a full-time side dick, and he was like, that's where he drew the... Well, I don't know if he drew the line there anymore. Honestly, who knows what he would agree to, but it seemed like he pushed back on that, and she was just like, okay, then I'd rather be with the other guy.
Person for destroying them for me. And now these memories hurt, which fucking sucks.
I know way too much. I know way too much about some of these people.
These were the pictures on the wall. Me and my ex at Chichen Itza down in Mexico. It was rough to get there. 3.5 hours.
Oh,
me
no.
and my ex at Chichen Itza down in Mexico. The pictures on the wall. Me and my ex at Chichen Itza down in Mexico.
Oh, I thought it said me and my ex cheating. I thought he was cheated on again.
Bus ride from Cancun and all that, and we had troubles, but it was just the time
Mm-hmm.
That was the last time. The last time that I felt happy. My therapist asked me that. When was the last time that you felt at peace and happy when you were with your wife? And I said it was when we were in Mexico. When on the
I mean, he was reluctant about it, Cosa Nostra, but I think she was kind of ultimatumed him maybe because he definitely was not like down with it. I don't think he enjoyed the experience. He just had to do it if he wanted to keep her. But yeah, that's essential. I think he knew he would be jealous because he didn't want. He knew what he didn't want to do it, but I guess he thought maybe he could kind of placate her or something.
the exact place was when we were sitting on the beach
Cheating, he'd
and my
sit
son
down.
was playing in the water
Is
on the
eating
beach,
cheating, Methadone
and
clinic?
my wife
Yes
and
or
I were
no?
just sitting there. We both had drinks in our hand, light. We weren't drunk. We had drinks in our hand. We were sitting there beside each other, and this breeze was coming in, and the amazing
This is
water and
great.
sand and
I
everything,
feel like I'm there.
and we could hold hands and just relax. And that was the last time I was at peace, happy. Not happy. They were definitely happy, but all those, like the whole shebang together. And the sad part is
Yes,
that was like two
Erod. I
three
think
years
like
ago.
functionally, by the definition, it's inarguable that that's true. I mean, he did sign off on it, and even if he didn't, I think the term still applies.
So that can probably tell you a lot.
No,
So
like
yeah, I always
eating pussy,
my last
methadone
thing on
clinic.
my list. I already talked about dating a little bit. I have some female friends. A lot of them
I'm
are
sick. I'm
stepping
sick.
up.
This is like the best content. Like this is so raw. It's so real in like a world of AI and all this other stuff. And we've got Dave like saying shit you should never say publicly. It's fantastic.
And wanting to be
He's
friendly
not bullshitting around. He's not a bullshit artist.
with me. I'm trying not to be more than friends right now, and I know
He's
that's
a
hard.
super
And
shooter.
the one I kind of went out with yesterday, this is a little tough one here, and obviously everybody's different. I can't nail one woman with every trope, but she she was taught. We bitched about our exes, or talked about what we did wrong, what they did wrong, that kind of thing.
I know. I enable and platform psychopaths. I treat Methadone Clinic like a circus animal. I'm the devil that the Bible speaks of to Clarence.
So it's hard to start a relationship when you're just friends and you're bitching about your exes. But she she kind of asked me about my love language, and I thought, oh, and we kind of ours matched. Um,
So what he's saying is he saying that he's met a new woman, and unlike his previous relationship, where he wanted love to be expressed through sexual attention, and his wife from him wanted words of affirmation, right? She wanted words of encouragement, but she wanted physical touch from a, another man. So I guess she did like touch, but like it was just manifested in a different way. But he's saying that like this woman and he are right on the same path. So I'm assuming she's a physical touch person too.
which I was like, that's okay. That's not sure how that's going to work out. If we
I'm
if we
loopy, not
both
sick.
clicked into the same thing
The collector of lost
and we
souls.
didn't want to be more than friends, it could be hard to not.
I was so blazed during my first Truthfully Trisha stream. And I went into like this stream of consciousness, like Savvy Guy style presentation before I even knew who Savvy Guy was, of like why I watched this kind of content, and then Truthfully Trisha struck it down, and I could never access it again.
Be. So so I have to take that really slow. I have to take that really and make sure that, like,
And I can't remember what I
if we
said.
fall into it, we fall into it. Um, but right now we're both just trying to work through our divorces. So yeah, but yeah, we're both technically still married, but we're also technically not dating. I had a couple others that said that they would date somebody who's married. I have one who I might actually ask out for this week.
So he's balancing three women, but he's not dating any of them currently. Two of them are married, so, and one of them isn't.
This weekend, I've never dealt with multiple ladies at the same time before. Most of the time growing up, I would get with one girl. I would date her for, oh hell, when you're in high school, it could be 2 weeks, could have been 6 months, and then if it wasn't working out, one of you would dump the other one. I tried to be very nice about it. I always was. I was always very nice about it. I tried,
Listen, babe,
but
it's
I've
not
never
you,
dealt
it's
with,
me.
okay, I'm kind of dating this girl. I'm dating this one. Dating and going on a date is different. You know what I mean? It's something I haven't dealt with before. Um, I'm
Trisha
realizing
is the ultimate what if of Fusion Studios. It could have completely changed the direction of the channel if Trisha would have been receptive to working with me, but she absolutely was not.
what I said this in one of my other small videos. I'm realizing I'm kind of a high value person. I do have a child, and he's with me half the time. Possibly
Okay, so they were, but to cut to the chase, both Erod. He was allowing her to go out with other men, but then also she would steal money to go on nice little trips with the bulls. But then she was also cheating, like without his, she was sleeping with other men without his permission as well. 3 to 4 long-term affairs during their marriage. This is how I felt. This is how I felt when I heard that the first time.
full time at some point. But I'm athletic. I'm driven. I make a good living. I'm a really decent person. Um, and most of them know me and know that this marriage failure was probably not me. And obviously, they don't know that, but I try to explain a little bit. And obviously, everybody's going to tell you that they're not the bad guy. I get it. I'm guilty as well. Uh, but I'm not the bad guy. All right, this video is getting way too long. Nobody's probably going to watch it.
So women deserve so much goddamn more.
I hope people start watching my latest videos. They have not, and that's fine. Interestingly, most of the people watch the intro video and then don't really watch much after that. I'm getting a lot of hits from these shorts. I can keep doing shorts. I'm fine with that. I think a lot of people like to watch them when they're sitting in a doctor's office and they can watch them with their
What
sound
is
turned off.
why would you First of all, what a very specific scenario. He thinks specifically people are watching them at doctors' offices with the sound off. What's Is that why he's got the subtitles? I actually do appreciate the subtitles, even if they're not always right.
So I've made sure I've done
Those are not the built-in closed captioning from YouTube. Like he put those on there himself.
closed captions at the bottom. If anybody wants to
Wow,
hear me
La
talk
Cosa
about anything
Nostra.
specific about my process here,
Wow,
or if
find
I
a
have thoughts
bridge,
on
huh?
your process, if you watch some of my other videos and you may be starting a relationship with somebody who has bipolar or BPD or PTSD or ADHD or any combination thereof,
Divorce shorts.
even
Yes,
psychosis,
divorce shorts.
I've had experience in that. I have, and while my ex will swear that I never learned her things, I absolutely did learn those things. Sometimes, just like with call me an asshole. This is a bad example, but sometimes, like with a child, it's you have to say, well, it's you still have to say, I understand what you're saying, but I still disagree, and that's really hard to tell someone that you love that what they're feeling isn't real, and that it really sucks. Um, and sometimes they will know that what they're feeling isn't real, but they still feel it.
We'll probably find out.
That's that's what's going to cause the most trouble in a lot of those situations. So
Hopefully, anyway.
anyway, I'll let everybody go here. Uh, hope somebody watches this. If you want to hear more, like, subscribe, give me some comments. I will talk about whatever anybody wants me to talk about. I'll make shorts if you want. If you
Okay.
see something that's
He's like, look, I'll do anything. I will do anything. I'll talk about anything you want to. I'll make shorts about whatever you want to. I'll make more shorts. Just please, please. We're here for you, buddy. You don't have to beg anymore. You've got your audience. You've got your crew now. We're your family now, Dave.
somebody else is doing out there, some shorts, some informational things,
let me know. I'll try it. All right. Have a good day, everybody.
Oh man, what a video. Fantastic. All right, here we go. Provisional hearing and what's next? My life. No, my journey through life and divorce. Ooh, we get a driving video. He's got his Lemon Thunder.
So I had my provisional hearing for court, for custody.
I'm desperate. Reach out.
Welcome to the channel if you haven't seen it yet. I don't usually do videos in the car because I don't like to while I'm driving, but the provisional hearing was yesterday for custody. I tried to gain full custody of my son with visitation for my soon-to-be ex. Didn't work out. I wasn't happy with how it was handled, but I understand that judges have to make split decisions in provisional hearings without all the...
I'm just going to be honest with him when I contact him. I'll say, look, my channel is known for presenting perspectives of men who are fed up with women and then a lot of the antics of BPD women. I'd like to interview you about these topics.
Information that may come up later. Unfortunately, that means
court
that we're
sure,
probably gonna have to
yes.
go to trial because I don't believe that he had enough information to make a good decision. And I'm sure that they have that a lot. And I'm sure that a lot of times they make quick decisions and then have to go back on those later. But we'll see.
63 views on
happens.
this one. At least it's more than 7.
A lot of things came up. We tried to get in. We talked beforehand, which is part of what we do here in this state. You do a quick 15 or 20 minute thing beforehand out in the hallway to try to resolve any differences. There wasn't much resolved. There was some stuff that we agreed on that had basically already been agreed on.
Oh, damn, boy. Woo.
Such as
the strong,
the school for the coming year, which school he's going to go to. And we had to get that resolved because school, I think we're going to have to get him signed up probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So that needed to be handled. There were some things that stopped us from agreeing previously that still stopped us from agreeing, and that was the stipulation that I had where if either one of us went into the hospital for mental health reasons, that my son would go to the other parent for a year at least, with full custody for a year. And she refused that, which to me kind of leads me to believe that she expects something like that to happen.
We're back on this
there was
again.
Another stipulation as well, if either one of us lost our job for 3 or more months. Both of those 2 stipulations are things that have been consistent with my significant other over the years. A lot of suicidal thoughts, a lot of things like that that came up over the years, and many times I was told by her, at this point
he's obsessed with it. He talks about it all the time.
I don't know what's true and what's not. I may have been being manipulated, but
may have been being manipulated.
I was told that, the only reason I didn't commit suicide was, to remember that your hugs, to remember that you were always there for me.
Oh no, remember the long hugs? He said that he was like known for long hugs.
And I was always there no matter what, so I get it. My ex said things like, oh, I'm so much better now than I was. Well, it's temporary, you know what I mean? Everything's temporary.
True.
But it very well could be true. There's absolutely, maybe she really wasn't happy in our marriage.
I mean, I Chris the YouTuber probably, because he would probably go into some kind of weird wall push-up rage, and I don't really think Dave's, no shade on him. He's a nice guy. I like him, but he's not really built for combat, I don't think he has that mental toughness, and Chris the YouTuber would be just a singularly driven wrecking crew, pretty much.
And that happens. I get it, especially with women more often than men. Later on in the years, they just realize, well,
I feel like if Dave was if it was a confrontational person or was like a stand your ground kind of guy, he would have confronted these He would have confronted these other guys at least. Or he would have, if even if he didn't want to get into a fight, which I would understand, like he would at least like confront his wife about it. Like, look, you know, though the guys didn't agree to anything, like she agreed when they got married to be faithful. So, but he's not even going to confront her. He's not going to be able to, you know, fight, especially if Chris the YouTuber thinks Grace is on the line. My God.
Well, you know, the kids are older now. I'm not happy with how my life is going at this point. I want something different. And
Dave ain't built for the arena.
And then, I believe what's happening now is and probably with a lot of people, men and women, that go through this, that choose divorce, they are now having to develop all the reasoning behind why they left. Absolutely, a lot of it was probably there beforehand, which made them get to this decision.
Okay.
Some of it could be that they've been talking to another person or other multiple
It
people.
could be, Dave, just out of left field here, but it could be that she told you, like, over and over again that she wanted, like, to feel wanted and to feel like she was beautiful and to be told that she was beautiful. And she told you that directly, and you even processed that, and you still refused to do it because you viewed it transactionally, that if you needed to, if you were, like, you were only willing to do things if you knew you were going to get a return on it. And he was pretty open that that's how he viewed it, which I think that could be a huge red flag for a woman.
Where they feel like, well, I'm not getting, this person says they can offer
I'm
this
not
to me.
agreeing with her behavior at all, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think this is like a completely one-sided situation.
I feel like that my life would be better with this other person, so now I feel comfortable enough to leave my current significant other. So I think that happens a lot, probably. And a lot of these, you know, it's no fault. It's no fault is a thing because it's a thing.
This ain't no fault.
Nobody necessarily
man.
did anything. Like, it's really hard.
She fucked a
Even
bunch
in
of other
states that do
guys.
have faults,
That's not no fault. That's not no fault. But you can't. I mean, can he even argue that, because he wants to get back together? So it's not like he could say, like, oh, she did something that was so far beyond the pale, like I can't ever take her back. Because he's on the record in all these videos saying, like, that he that's the desired outcome, is that she would just abide by their agreement and not, you know, have a regular side guy.
To prove that somebody did something.
I'm getting heated,
without like
man.
a private investigator
This is
watching
intense
them
shit.
to go, you know, watch them and take pictures of them or something
And
like
smoking
that.
weed for
most
like
divorces, I think, in the United States are no fault. They just things fall apart. It is
5
what it is.
hours
People
or
get
something?
Unhappy. And they just don't
6
stick around
hours?
anymore like they used to years and years ago. Now, that is not to say that a lot of people didn't stay in marriages that were terrible back, you know, in the 50s or 60s or what have you. Even gay people, trans people, what have you. They stayed in marriages because they were afraid of what?
Gay people, trans people, what have you. I like the what have you. Trans people, what have you.
What society might do to them. So I 100% understand that. I'm a very empathic, empathetic.
Boy, is there a bigger red flag in the world than somebody who tells you that they're an empath. I think we've talked about this many times. That's such a huge red flag.
Person. Of course, a lot of people, not a lot of people, most people that I know would agree with that. My ex would not. And I get that.
Many people would agree that I'm an empath, but not my soon-to-be ex-wife.
You villainize the other person to make things feel right for you. I get it. I understand. But anyway, the provisional hearing, I don't feel like the judge got all the information that he needed. He had to make a split decision. There was not really a hearing so much as we went into his office and just talked through some things. She fought for the cat, and she left the cat when she left, and I kind of developed more of a connection with the cat. It was just me and her, for the long time, and it was like a therapy cat for me. You know what I mean? There were times when I felt like, well, nobody loves me. No, who cares about me? Nobody cares. And that cat would come up, and it's like she could tell.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like she could tell that something
Wait, what? Is it important we need to have a discussion about caffeine? What caffeine?
was wrong with me.
I don't think Bethanone's going to do much criticizing with her big Boit watch, her big Boit madness match around the corner.
And that she thought that she could help, and that was amazing to me. And I've always liked animals. I've always loved animals. But I always had the thing of,
remember that weird story he told where he was trying to tell us like what a good guy he was, and he was like, children flocked to him, and he said he found a lost child at the water park and walked around with him for half an hour. Like, that was such a weird story. Like, I think this guy has real problems of like grasping how people perceive elements of his personality.
like, I had too much to take care of already.
The cat's an empath.
With my family. So it's a lot of stress. A lot of men go through that. A lot of stress on your health and your body and your brain. And so I was like, I don't want to have another thing. It's like adding another family member that you like. Animals are, well, cats less so, but another animal's like having another child. And it's like, look, there's a lot of work here already. I need to shore my time and my stress level down. So if we have an animal, I need it to be taken care of.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Like, so that it's not on me to take care of it. So that was why I haven't really had pets over the years as much. We tried a few times, some things didn't work out. Some things did. It happens.
The cat cornered and attacked his entire family, just like the one at the McHenrys.
Sometimes pets just don't work out for the kids. They don't work out in the house for whatever reasons. And I get it.
He's got to be. I agree. I think his stress levels have got to be through the fucking roof. He just seems like in a constant state of like mild panic.
Some people will say, well, once you get an animal, you can't give up on it.
Empath, intolerant. Give me a break.
Especially if you have kids and the animal doesn't work with the child and keeps jumping up and knocking the kids down, things like that. It's a problem, and it's not being trained. Anyway, I'm kind of just rambling here because I am driving. But yeah, so the provisional hearing, it kind of made me sad. I really didn't get much that I was asking for. There was one very odd stipulation that the judge put in against my...
If you get less than 30 views on a video, you lose custody for a year.
Soon-to-be ex, that I'm not going to go over because it's more of a private thing, but...
Oh, okay. So, just so I understand this, it's okay for this guy to put his ex-wife, for better or for worse, whether she deserves to be outed for cheating. So it's okay for this guy to go online and talk about how many dicks his wife was bouncing on. But when it's when it's something about him, it's too much of a personal issue. Come on, dude. He's trauma dumping to us, and then very selectively though.
It really wasn't something I was asking for. It was oddly one of those weird sort of judge moral call things where he didn't believe that she should be doing something.
Oh, come on.
And I thought it was kind of weird. I thought personally it was one of those judgments where he might have been overstepping a little bit.
Oh, good Lord.
I guess they have kind of a broad ability to rule on stuff like that. So I won't go over that too much more. But
what? This is infuriating.
It was odd, and it did have to do with her boyfriend. But yeah, other than
More of a
that, I
private
wasn't
thing.
happy with how it came out. But it is now likely to go to trial. It sounded like from both lawyers that
Come on,
mediation
Cosa Nostra.
might not be working. It sounds like we're both already locked into what we want to happen. And I believe, at least from my lawyer's perspective, that is because he knows that there are a lot of facts. And once those facts are put on the table, And once an ad litem starts talking to my son,
Very anti-male justice system, south to west, as Ben would say.
then reality's going to set in.
Am I friends with his wife? No, but I do think you have to, it's kind of unfair to just assume the worst. I think discussing her perspective is important.
And the table will start to tip in my
The man that called Ben the Mushroom Man?
favor, in my son's favor. So I think that's probably where it'll go, and goodness knows how long it's going to take. I don't know. I know some people who are in divorce they're in the middle of it still, and they're 4 or 5 months in. I know in some states the average is a year and a half, especially if it has to go to trial, because when it goes to trial, there has to be all this discovery.
Well, let's put it this way. Do you think at this point in the story, Cody Turbo, that this guy's going to get full custody like he wants, yes or no? That's what it all boils down to. Who do you think the courts will rule in favor of having, like, majority custody?
all these paperwork, things like that. Like one of the
He talks about it all the time, Cosa Nostra. All the time he's talking about it. I have to put the disclaimer up like 2 or 3 times every video.
questions. One of the sorry, I don't know the word I'm thinking of right now, so I'm driving. One of the things that I claimed is if it needs to be proven, we're going to have to find some financial records from 15 years ago. And I'm not even sure how we're going to get that. It would be in the old checking accounts, I think. So, and honestly, I think it's probably something that, in my case, I'm not sure she even remembers that it happened. Which,
okay, I'm not trying to be a smartass, but if anybody actually knows, when he uses the terminology that she stole the money, would the court see it that way? Even though she took the money without his permission, they were married, it was probably a joint account. Would a court, like, obviously if she had done it and then he had immediately taken her to court, but if he never had it litigated, could that really count against it? Or is it just that would the court say, like, oh, well, this is just the case where a spouse spent more money than the other partner approved of? That's not really since it was a decade ago and no one cared, like, is it, maybe it's just statute of limitations. I don't know.
happens with somebody with finance.
It just seems like it's hard for him. It would be hard to say she stole all this money when she was doing it repeatedly, openly in front of him, and he was tolerant of it. He just wasn't enthusiastic about it. I don't think he saw it as stealing until the divorce came up. I think he just saw it that he didn't approve of her doing it, but he was going to do whatever to keep her happy so that she would stay with him, is what I think.
This is mental issues. And I'm not blaming her for any of this. I am not. And I know it feels, if you have...
This guy doesn't seem like he would make her have he seems like he would have like a joint account, in my opinion.
Something like that, then...
So, Cody Turbo, but are you saying that you think they'll give it to the mom solely because of the anti-male bias in the family court system? Or do you think that, based on what limited we know, that you think this guy would be a much better parent than his soon-to-be ex-wife?
It's not fair to you. And I know you feel like...
Yeah, unethical, 100% agree. But could you litigate that under those conditions? I don't know. Where it was a repeat pattern of behavior that, again, wasn't ideal for him, but that he was aware of and signing off on because he wasn't doing anything about it.
People shouldn't be able to hold these things against you. And
I
don't
agree.
think, sometimes they will hold things against you, but you also can't act like things didn't happen. You know what I mean? Because sadly,
Like, I would think he would have just never, ever mentioned to a soul that he had funded vacations for his wife and her bull. Would have been so much more valuable to not have that information in the out in the world, than whatever she spent.
if you have bipolar or BPD or something like that, and you do harm somebody else, you still harm that person, and it's sad but true. So we will have to see how it goes. I don't know how long this discovery stuff's going to take. There could be a lot of insurance documents that have to come up with her medical records and things over the years. It's probably going to cost us a lot of money. I will probably be probably drained fully of every amount of capital that I have in my 401k.
I think most people are going to see this as a case of they took a risk in their marriage. It backfired for him. Instead of her getting, what she needed from another guy every once in a while, like he hoped, once she started getting it, she wanted to keep getting it. So, like, I think that's how it would be viewed. It's just that they went down a path in a relationship that's, it didn't work out. I don't think they're going to see it as like malicious, even with the cheating. I don't think it's going to affect it. And again, we don't know for sure that that's true. He's saying that. We don't know like 100% that that's true.
And Roth IRA. The only thing that I will have left is the house, and houses are good capital these days. They're good investments, so that'll be something. And I can probably pay that off in 10 years if I bump up my payments a little bit, and then by 55-ish to have a house paid off is pretty nice. Even if I'm in a low income, low housing market area, it's still something paid off. So anyway, I better get off here. I'm getting close to work now, so I just wanted to give you guys an update. If anybody wants to hear anything, please ask. I am trying to be judicious.
He's trying to be careful what he talks about. Can he hear himself?
About this right now. I don't want to give too much information. I don't want to cause any trouble with court. So I'm trying to just give my thoughts without causing any issues. So I hope you guys like my beard. Anybody who's subscribed, if you want to know more, like and subscribe. I'd be happy to do more
about my
videos
beard
on how things are going. Like I said, I'm only given so much information based off of what I feel like I'm able to say outside of court.
What is he?
Some of that stuff is private.
What is he thinking that he's not saying?
Private, hasn't been put in yet. The provisional order will actually come in later this week, so we'll get that sorted out. All right, everybody, have a good day. Hope you're doing better than I am today, but I got to remember in my head, it's not the end of the world.
Oh,
my
man.
son still loves me.
Oh, God.
The rest of my family still loves me.
Ugh.
I don't know that my ex loves me anymore. Maybe she still does in a deep
no.
down. But she probably hates me at this minute. I get it. I'm not happy in life
This is just absolutely brutal.
either right now. I wish things could go back. And I wish I could change some things. But there's nothing, hindsight's 20/20. You can't fix the past. I can learn from it. I can do better in my next relationship or next relationships. I can find people that have less of the triggers and issues that came up in my marriage.
Find you a girl that just wants one dick and then just, start there.
Anyway, have a good day. It's early. If you're at
Tell
work,
her right off the bat, Dave, say you're not putting up with any of that bullshit.
quit slacking at work. If you're on your way to work or on your way home, thanks for
Clarence
listening
is
to me.
live.
Like and subscribe if you want to see more. I've only got a few subscribers, but I'd love to
Acting
get some
pink.
more. I'll keep talking about things. I will start talking about my positive things
Positive content right around the corner.
soon. I am triathlon training, so I
Oh,
might
boy.
start streaming some of that or something. I was really happy. I did a test trial run this last weekend for a triathlon and did the whole thing first try. Sprint triathlon, sorry, not a full one. I'm not up to that yet. Anyway, hey, have a good day, everybody. It's getting really rainy and nasty out here. Bye.
He needs a good girl like Luna. All right. Was I gaslighting my ex? A brutally honest reflection on my marriage. This is gonna. Oh my god! Oh my god! Look, 4 views. This is deep cut, and only 2 on the next one.
Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you haven't seen it before, I don't get a lot of hits on my long videos, but I'm going to go right into it on this one. This is about gaslighting. I was told at a meeting last week, right before our court hearing, that I was gaslighting my ex, and I can see definitely where she may have. One of the things that I said or did was a, I don't want to say a symptom, but a thing for a trigger, what have you, for gaslighting. But it was just a one.
This guy's gold, absolutely. I'm so glad, and he was an algorithm poll too, just completely random.
Time thing. Anyway, I want to go over it. I want to go over gaslighting. If you're looking this up, you've probably already seen videos on it. You've probably already.
Oh yeah, the Accord. Oh no. Oh no. That doesn't look good. What else do we have in here? I got kind of a. Is this like all of his books and like role playing games and stuff? He's got like a treasure chest.
Looked up other videos on it. This is my perspective. I'm going to go over like.
It is. There's something about especially sub 10, but sub 5 is just like, oh, it's like finding like that's like the deep well water.
Over the years in my relationship, which was about 18 years for the most part, things that could be considered gaslighting, and then I want to go through and say, did I do this? Do I think that I did this? Did she possibly do it?
How you doing, Joe? How you doing, gobbledygook?
In the end, you'll find I don't really think that either one of us were. Well, I can't say for her, but I think definitely for me, I wasn't doing anything on purpose. The things that I did do were reactive, probably, and that is a problem.
Frog
This
tank.
is all stuff that I want to work on. This is why I'm making the videos. It may help you, it may not. You may be questioning whether was I gaslighting someone or not. Chances are you weren't, if you aren't even sure you were.
What if he was married to April?
But some of these things on here, you'll see that.
And Luke is the new guy.
You'll think, if you're not the type of person, then you'll see it and go, that's disgusting, you know. So anyway, the first thing on my list, generally lying about things.
She hates the truth.
About anything, really. Just a lot of times it could be something small, like, you know what I mean? People that tend to lie in certain ways, they can't help it. So I never really lied about anything other than little things like a surprise gift, or maybe
lying about a surprise gift. Come on, bro.
A lot of men, coming from a lot of men, probably, I would hide my own sadness or concerns of our marriage.
I would hide my own sadness.
Not wanting.
How about that for a T-shirt?
Cause issues in the relationship, and of course, long term, what does that do? It causes issues with the relationship. So it's kind of a no-win situation. I think, you know, hindsight, I would suggest that people talk way more openly than they think that they should.
I can tell.
And of course, a lot of the people who don't are people like me who have attachment issues.
Oh,
where
not
I felt like
the right ages.
I was scared to cause ripples, so I didn't bring things up. And I think if some of these things may have been brought up earlier, I don't want to say it could have caused us less trouble, but it could have helped us to communicate better. Sadly, on the other side, I found over the years that she lied to me quite a bit. A lot of it was little stuff over the years, things that she lied about, little things that and I don't have any perfect examples right now.
Okay.
Little things that didn't even matter, like lying about things that that doesn't bother me. Well, I know it bothers you. You told me
Gee,
before that it
thanks.
bothers
This guy, he ain't gonna run no dating game. He needs to stick it in whatever the first port he can discover.
you, or about talking to
Any
other
port in
men
a storm.
or other things with other people, uh, and and I found out about some of it and didn't say anything about it, and that's my fault. I should not have done that. I should not have let it go. Um, like I said, I have attachment issues, so
Oh boy.
there's not much I can do about that. I'm not a lying type person. If I do, it's probably because it's something to do with me being afraid of something. It's not something where I'm lying to get something that I want. It's not me lying.
Oh, 100%. I guarantee you. Well, maybe, honestly, maybe not, because that one only had 2 views on it. So, like, I think if it were like an ex or, or his ex, or there'd be like, they'd probably, well, I don't know, maybe it only counts your view one time. I don't know how that works, but yeah, I mean, I would think they have to be aware that he's making these videos.
To hide something that I've done. So that's not, to me, that
Too busy dying.
wasn't an issue for me at all. Okay, when somebody says you're too sensitive or invalidate the feelings that you might have, or you're making a big deal out of nothing. Now, I'm sure that I've said a couple of those things here and there.
Well, he said he's doing the triathlon, but he claims that he's training, but of course we don't ever see that.
Very rarely, though. It wouldn't have been a common thing. I know she had insecurities.
He's not looking
and
to
I know
have
she
fun. He's looking to attach to a new woman as quickly as possible and get back to being a boyfriend slash husband. He don't want to play the games and have the dance and the rituals. He wants to cling to a new woman. He's telling you that through the things that he says. Like, he just wants to barnacle. So he just needs to find a new woman that he can barnacle to.
some issues, and I tried my best to not trigger.
What in the world? Are you out of your mind? This do you really think this guy is trying to swoon anybody? Come on, bro.
Those things, and most of the time I didn't feel that I needed to say things like that. I never felt like I had to demean her to get anything. I think that's a little.
That's a gym
crazy,
haircut.
To do that to somebody. Oh, you're too sensitive. Yes, there are times, absolutely, in anybody's life where somebody might be too sensitive about something.
You can tell he's a pain in the ass.
But that's their perspective. That's what they feel. You don't discount what they feel. It may be too sensitive for you. That does not mean it's too,
I mean, do you really think there was, any chance at all that with him being this kind of, dry cod personality type, that his wife, like, partying with another guy, like I said, it's not like they were like swingers that were having a great time together, just, being degenerates. Like, he was completely separate from the experiences. Like, I don't understand why he wants to take her back, especially after after having gone through the first divorce and now going through a second one. I can't. What is it about this woman? Like,
that doesn't mean that they're too sensitive by it. They could have issues in their past that forces a trigger on them, and that's fine.
do you think it's just? Do you think it's like a mental hold? Like, is it the dependency thing that he's? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense.
But that's not, I don't believe that that's something that I did, and she didn't do it to me either. I don't think that was an issue. So as far as gaslighting, I don't think that whole.
Hi, I had the Big Mac meal. Yeah, she left me. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're too
It's really
sensitive.
evil, but I couldn't help it.
The invalidating the feelings, that was hit and miss. If you see my
What's
other videos,
comfort about it? What's comforting to him? She's fucking like multiple of other guys, and again, it's not like he's like enjoys that or thinks that it's acceptable. He clearly is against it, but he's like, what's comforting to him? Where's the comfort at? Just having a woman? Just having any woman, even if she's going to do that? Like, I don't, it doesn't make sense to me.
You know that my ex had bipolar, BPD, PTSD, ADHD. That's the main ones. Anyway, there were a lot of insecurities.
A lot of guys do that with strippers too. They'll trauma dump to them because they don't want to talk to they don't want to be vulnerable to their wives. Smart.
And she had a lot of feelings, and I did my best to support her in all those feelings. Now there were absolutely some of them that I probably disagreed with.
But I understand if she was like a really loving, nurturing woman and then she fucked around on him, but like it doesn't even seem like they had a good relationship. You know what I mean? It's not like everything was perfect and then she cheated. Like, I just don't know where the comfort comes from unless it's just an unwillingness to like face change.
Tell somebody that they aren't allowed to feel a feeling. I will never tell someone that they need to hide
Rest
a
in
feeling.
peace, Shelley.
I will tell someone, and this is the hard part, and this is the mean part.
Bipolar, PTSD, BPD, ADHD, narcissist.
Just because you have a feeling doesn't mean that everybody in this world is going to care that you have that feeling. Your family, your friends, your
Yes,
family
that's ultimately from what he said himself, and that's the only side I have. She was saying to him that like she wanted him to tell her that she was beautiful and that he liked her body and was interested in, you know, feeling wanted. He, in his defense, I feel like he's just not a very emotionally, you know, intelligent individual. And I feel like in his mind, he's because if you remember, he was bragging that he could fuck her like 3 times a day if she wanted. He was associating, oh, well, if I want to fuck her 3 times a day, then she'll know that I want her because she'll feel so wanted. And that's not what she was looking for. She was looking for like the verbal, you know, the praise and the like non-sexual affection, I think.
They probably will. But somebody on the street, they're not going to care about your feelings. They're just not. They're not invested in the relationship with you. Okay, the next thing. Someone would say, I'm only doing this because I care about you. I can't ever
Okay, I'm remembering lore here. Do you remember where he said there were some things in the bedroom that she would do for him, but that he didn't feel like she was enthusiastic enough about? Like, he wanted her to really embrace it, and she wasn't enthusiastic enough. I feel like that kind of speaks volumes as well as to like what their intimacy was like.
Ever saying that, unless it was like a joke about, you know.
And to be clear, I'm saying like I don't get why he would, if she's willing to do something for him, like she can't help it if she's not as enthusiastic, you know. But she's doing it to try to make him, you know, to try to make him happy. But he was like, he was belligerent about that, I felt like.
She dared me to jump in the cold water or something silly, something really silly like that. I never fished for validation. I never fought for, I never tried to dig for that sort of thing. And I don't really, I didn't feel the need to. I loved her because I loved her. I did things for her because I enjoyed seeing her happy, you know, that sort of thing. And I don't ever recall her saying that either. So I don't think that's an issue with either one of us. Was. It's over now. I never said that. Okay, this is a big one. And I think this happens in every relationship at different
Remember
times.
when April said that Luke's kink is wedgies? Do you think he likes to give the women the wedgies, or do you think he likes them to give him wedgies?
Basically, and this is what came up at our hearing last week.
This is hard to watch. It is hard. I mean, it is, but it's real. Like it is hard to watch, and it's uncomfortable at times to hear what this guy's talking about. But like, it's just there's something about it. It's just it's like so real and authentic.
She said, You told me when we started this divorce that you would keep the cat until I got a place, and then I'll come and take it. I
Oh,
honestly,
you think because of the firecracker up the ass that he wanted to be pegged? She want okay, 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 Randy.
do not remember saying that.
Do you think she
I
said that under oath in court?
don't. And that's what I said. I said I do not recall saying that because I was asking for custody of the cat because my son wants to live here and I love the cat and I know she doesn't think that I do, but I developed a lot of relationship with it over the couple of years that we've had it, and then of course since my wife left, it's been like a therapy kitty for me, and she's calmed down, and everybody was kind of happier. But it happens. So in front of the lawyer, she goes, "Oh, you're gaslighting me," and I'm like,
Gaslighting.
"I okay, I disagree with that, but well, you're lying. You said that." And I said, "Well, you're welcome to believe that. You're welcome to believe what you like." And she got red faced, pissed, angry, enraged. And that's when she said I was gaslighting her. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
What? Why did he say, ladies and gentlemen?
because you sorry, gaslighting, face, come to believe that. You're welcome to believe what you like. And she got red faced, pissed, angry, enraged. And that's when she said I was gaslighting her. Now, ladies and gentlemen, because you sorry, because you disagree with somebody, I realize that this is a trigger. They try to get you to the gaslighting person tries to get
Now,
you to
ladies and gentlemen.
question what you remember. Okay, it happens. People forget things. I didn't do this. This wasn't something I did all the time. I could probably count on one hand how many times that she brought something up that I couldn't remember saying. 5 times, maybe in 15 to 18 years. So I don't think you can call that gaslighting.
She does seem very
I
bold.
think that's an average random amount of times that would happen. And I would guess at least the same amount of times she misrecalled or didn't recall saying something. And of course, a lot of that has to do with her conditions and her medications and things like that. A lot of times for hers were
Wow.
very small things, or she would remember things differently than I believed they happened or were said. And I think some of that became some of our end time issues. Like she believed that I made promises for things that then I later refused to do, and I don't think that happened that way. Chances are I said, "Hey, if we can do
That's a
this, and
you
then
and
this
Randy
happens, and then this
Wanzer
happens,
agree
we
on
can
that
look
one.
at doing that."
La Cosa Nostra.
And then, for whatever reasons, the things didn't come to happen the way it happened. For instance, moving away or moving somewhere, um, something like that. Things didn't happen that were supposed to lead up to that sort of thing, and that's why it didn't happen. Well, to the other person, I get it. Well, you said this was going to happen, and you lied. Well, from my perspective, that's not exactly how it happened. So that I think that happens sometimes in any relationship, but it's not in our relationship. I don't think it was something that was constant. It really wasn't. It was once in a while, a reasonable amount of time, um, not something where it was monthly, weekly, or even yearly. I mean,
Wow,
honestly, it was
very
really
McHenry
far, far.
coded. Monthly, weekly, or even yearly.
Okay, here's one. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. Somebody says that. Um, I heard that quite a bit from her, actually, uh, a lot, and I get that. Women hide their anger. They don't hide it very well usually. They tend to get passive aggressive. They tend to just shut down. They stop talking to you. They'll withhold. Okay, first of all, I don't like the whole idea of withholding sex.
Oh boy.
I think I've even heard psychologists saying that, and I disagree that that is a problem with women and or men. If somebody is upset with you, they're not going to be in the mood to have sex with you. Of course, they're not withholding it like in that situation if they're mad with you. That's not the same thing. They're not using it as a weapon. They're pissed, so they're not going to have sex with you. That makes sense to me. If it doesn't make sense to you, more power to you. If you have hate sex, have at it. Have a good time.
Wow.
But anyway,
If you like hate sex, have a good time. Hell yeah.
that I'm not
Who
angry.
doesn't?
She would ask me if I was angry a lot. And I get this, and a lot of times men are able to internalize anger.
I seriously
point.
I can't I feel so fortunate that the algorithm delivered this to us. I mean, I think this is complete keynote. Every video is pretty much start to finish good.
Where it doesn't bother them anymore. And I would do that a lot. And over the years, I've thought about it, and I've thought about, well, maybe that's a problem. Maybe it just stews in my system. And for me, it really didn't. I might be upset about something, but usually hours down the road, days down the road, I realize it wasn't a big deal, and I just forget about it, or I just put it on a shelf somewhere and go, okay, if that happens a whole lot, then maybe we got a problem. If it just happens once in a while, it's not a big deal. So I'm very, 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 very slow to anger, and I always have been, compared to the rest of my family, especially. Usually the time I rarely ever, if ever, got angry at my wife, at my ex. I just didn't. I had a lot of patience.
Yeah, there's a dude. Don't you guys think that even if you're gonna take her back, even if you're every time that this woman cheated on this guy, he was gonna take her back, don't you think that there's room for anger in that? Like, that's a huge betrayal, like, over and over again. That this guy didn't feel anger. I don't know if it's because people of some kind of, I don't know. I think you can have healthy anger. Anger isn't like always violent. The fact that he didn't feel anger, I guess everybody processes stuff differently, but I don't know. I would just think it would be odd to not have any anger over this like intensely personal betrayal, regardless of if you were willing to overlook it.
With her, the only times, even when we fought, it wasn't really fighting like angrily. It was more.
So basically, like, there's no passion even in the fighting. That's a
miscommunication, communication problems. I would be upset because she brought something up that I didn't realize was a problem. And it was more of a sadness than an anger. So anyway, I want to move on to the next thing. This one's nasty. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Well, I absolutely 100% never said that. The only time, and I didn't even give her full credit for this. The first time we were married for about 2.5, 3 years, and she left. And she did some stuff during that time. Even after that, when she decided she wanted to come back, I did not give her 100% of the credit for that first marriage failing. I knew I did things wrong, and I will always have things.
I mean, Cosa Nostra, he took her back after like they got divorced the first time, and she got pregnant with his friend, cheated with his friend, and got pregnant by his friend. Took her back 3 to 4 long-term cheating affairs, and then the like approved other men. How is there just no anywhere in there at all? There's no like anger, or I just don't get it.
That I wish I could go back on. But there were definitely times over the years where she blamed me for things. She would blame me for her depression at different times. She would tell me that the next time that I was the only thing stopping her from committing suicide. And then, weeks later, she would tell me something's my fault again. I honestly couldn't. I felt like I couldn't win, and that's partially the bipolar.
Yes, he's openly admitted that like he wishes that they could just move past it. But she's gonna step out again, and he's not gonna. I don't know. Is he even a reliable enough narrator that we can trust that like she gave him the option of letting this guy be around all the time? You know what I mean? Or do you think that this was one of the side guys that she could see every once in a while, and she just decided she wanted to start over with that guy? I don't even know that we can 100% trust our what we've thought up to this point about that, because it seems like he's getting kind of more and more unreliable as we go on.
The BPD, those kind of things. So that's not. I don't see that a lot. I don't think she blamed me for everything. She knows she did wrong. She knows I did wrong. In the end, I think it just came down to what she wanted was different than what I was building with her, in life. And that's sad, but it is what it is. Okay, the next one. You're broken. That's effed up. Like, I can't even imagine telling somebody that. My ex had, like I said, all those issues, diagnoses, and I still never told her she was broken or wrong or wasn't built right or anything like that. That's ridiculous. I can't believe people would say that to somebody that they actually love. That to me is one of those horrible things. I do realize there may have been weird things that I may have said that made her feel that way, but I think a lot of times it was she felt that way. She would tell me, "Oh, I feel like I'm a burden." No, you're not. You're not a burden. You're not a burden. You're doing what you can. You're doing the best you can. You're doing great. We're doing this together. We're a team.
I defeat the cats.
So that I just never, wow, I can't even imagine telling somebody they're broken and it's like I'm the only one that can fix you. That's ridiculous. If you're doing that to somebody, you deserve a special place in hell. I don't even believe in hell. If you're doing that to somebody, you deserve a special place in hell. I don't even believe in hell.
Now he's
here's
mad.
another one, almost the same. Nobody likes you, or nobody wants to be around you. Like, you're just a pain in the ass. Nobody
Oh
likes
my
to be around
God,
you.
that's what Gobbledygook called him earlier on in the chat. She said he was definitely a pain in the ass.
Dude, if you're telling people that, why are you with them? You either don't want to be with them or you're trying to manipulate them. I would never say that to a person. She never said that to me. I can't even imagine saying that. That's another one that blows my mind that people can say something like that. Next one on the list, you're petty or you're being childish. This kind of goes back up to you're too sensitive. Very similar things. I pulled some of these from some different lists online, so that some of them overlap a little. I never ever told her she was petty or childish.
I don't think he's reading comments. I think he's just pulling like commonly asked questions going through a divorce or something. He said he pulled them from different online lists.
Only things that I think that could have been, and I smirk about this a little bit because it was mostly cute at the time. Way back when she was probably, I don't know, 26. There was a high school kid working at a store. The store doesn't even exist anymore, but he called her ma'am, and that just ate her up for weeks afterwards. And I thought that was so funny.
This one?
I can't believe he called me ma'am. I'm barely older than him and all this stuff. And I didn't think anything of it. And that's one of those things, like, that might eat away at a woman, or man, doesn't matter, at one person. And the other person just kind of giggles about it. And I giggled about it. Comment if you think that was unacceptable. I thought that was
comment
funny.
if that's unacceptable.
It's like, well, I mean, he's a kid. He's working at a store. You're obviously older than him. He's trying to be polite. That's all. So
yeah, I would say
while
so.
It's not really saying you're petty or you're childish. It was.
It was like a cat. Is this a cat here?
Other than that, or that sort of thing, on a rare occasion, that really never came up. I can't imagine, and I'm fairly sure she never did it either. The only time I can think of that she might have done it to me is when we talked about how I responded to communication when we would sit down and have talks with her, because I was bad about it. I did a short the other day. I deflect. I just did some stuff like that because, hey, guess what? I'm a dude. I'm an asshole. Like, sometimes I had to learn a lot over the years how to process sitting down and talking
what
to
she
somebody
did
about
to
things
you
that
was
you really
wrong.
don't want to talk about. You know what I mean? It's a lot of work. With my big white eye. So I think that's where a lot of men and probably a lot of women also fail in those conversations. But I don't. And she might have said, "Well, you know, grow up," that sort of thing, or
Grow up.
you know, I realize you. This is one thing she did actually say. I realize that you grew up in a certain way, but now you're an adult and you're deciding to continue to be that way. Well, to me, that's
Well,
sort of like saying,
luckily, he's got a very limited amount of content, so I feel like he won't overstay it. Well, he may have already be overstaying his welcome for some people, but I think overall, he's got such limited content that he won't overstay his welcome.
you're childish. That to me was
A nice, concise side story.
not. It wasn't really being fair to me. But I also understand it because she was trying to talk about the things that upset her or things that she had concerns over in our relationship, and I mean, honestly, I didn't want to hear the problems, right? Who does? And I get it.
What?
And usually it would take me a minute. I would
I didn't.
kind of freak out for a
To
minute.
be
in my
honest,
head.
he's like, I don't know what went wrong in my marriage. You know, I didn't want to hear the problems.
Might say something. I might get up and go get a drink of water and come back. I know that looks bad. I'm gonna get up and walk in the other room and kind of shake my head, and she's just thinking, "What the fuck? He's just walking away. Are you seriously just getting up and walking away from me?" And I realized that. But sometimes, like when bad stuff, like physically, it's like, "Oh my god, I need a drink of water." And then once I got my drink of water, I come back, I sit down, and we continue the conversation. So I still tried. I just sometimes didn't have good luck
What the
with
fuck's
that.
he talking about?
The next one on the list, you can't take a joke. Very similar to you're petty, you're childish, all those. I felt that way sometimes with her because she had so many insecurities, but I never said it to her. I would never. Why would you purposely put somebody down for their insecurities? Like that's fucking mean on purpose. I will not say that I never did it without thinking or by accident.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure that happens sometimes. Absolutely. Um, was it gaslighting? No. It was just me reacting in a fucking bad way, right? Yes. Absolutely. It didn't happen constantly. It didn't happen all the time. You know,
Is that
some
gaslighting?
people, she would say, well, I don't like that guy because he jokes about, you know, he said a word that bothers me.
Ben
Like,
Thorpe.
okay, I get that. You know, everybody has their own opinion on what they think's funny. Well, I could say that, just like I just did. And that to her, that was like an attack on her. I'm not supporting her by not like.
So, see, we don't know a lot of the information here to be able to put something together, but it sounds like to me that when I think of like somebody with an inappropriate joke, I immediately, or like an inappropriate word, I mean, there's only a couple of them that would really elicit that strong of a response from somebody. So I wonder if he was just like, he didn't really care that the person said something graphically sexual or racist, and maybe she was upset by him sweeping for the joke teller. I guess doesn't seem like a big deal though.
Liking the same comedian, and that's not fair.
You
That's
hate
not
this
fair
guy.
to anybody, and it is what it is. However,
Do you work for his ex-wife? Be
what
honest.
it does is, over the years, if one person in the relationship starts deciding, well, I don't like this type of thing anymore, and the other one's like, it doesn't bother me either way. It may not be funny to me. I don't like when people use derogatory terms. There's still a lot of old comedians. Hell, there's some new comedians that talk about stuff, and it's like, dude, we don't talk about that anymore. And usually, I don't watch them. I don't go out and actively complain about them. I just, they're not really my kind of joke. So I don't do it anymore. You know. Sorry, my nose is getting a little stuffed up. But my significant other would actively, like, like I hate them. I don't like them. I don't want to talk. I don't like them. I don't want to ever see them. And if you don't also dislike them, then we have a problem. And it's like that's really not fair. I'm just very open to things.
Yes,
I
very.
I don't I don't want to fight about them. I just don't want to. I just won't go to that comedian again. There were comedians that I used to listen to, from the '90s,
PC principle.
and then I go back and watch them now, and I'm like, it's not really funny anymore. I might have thought it was funny when I was, 18 years old. It's just not
Wow,
anymore.
what a revelation. Things that you think are funny when you're a kid might not be funny as an adult. Yeah, or like changing societal whatever. Why are they fighting about this? This is a strange fight.
It's just not how the world is anymore. And yes, we all
Is
learn.
he
We all
maybe he's married to somebody and the jokes are about their something personal about them and that's why they don't like that he won't or that he's sweeping for the other person?
grow. Uh, so anyway, the next thing on the list: if you really loved me, you would blah blah blah. Never would I say that ever, and that would piss me off to no end if somebody did that to me. Like I feel like she may have said that a few times, but I don't think it was against. I don't think it was like a hard, like if you loved me, you'd go fight that guy. It wasn't anything like that.
Okay, so there were situations where she wanted him to fight, like she wanted him to defend her honor and he didn't, is what it sounds like. But like low key, why would you defend the honor of a girl who's fucking around on you? You know what I mean?
That it was, oh, if you loved me, you would. I don't know, probably something in the bedroom, or go get me a Coke from the concession stand, something like that. If you love me, which I really don't think either of those fits into this thing. So gaslighting, no, I don't think that's ever a thing. If it happened, it was probably just joking, and it is possible that there were minor manipulations from on her part, but I absolutely never said something like that. If you really love me, to me, with my attachment styles and my love
You know
languages,
what though?
and I've
Okay,
learned over.
there are women who do that like as sport. Like they like to start shit just to get their boyfriends into fights. It sounds like it happened multiple times.
Over the years that people say this is my love language. It's not black and white, and I think that's kind of where we had an issue. She always believed that mine was acts of service, and that was acts of service was like 50%, and then
Acts of service would be like cooking meals, doing little trad tasks.
like touch was like 40%, and then the other two were like 5%. So like I really had two, and I think a lot of people have that, and people don't notice, people don't pick it up. They try to handle one thing in their head at a time and try to remember that for 20 years of a marriage or what have you. Some people never do those love languages. Some people disagree with the whole idea of them. I get it. It's fine. It can help. It can help. I believe it can help you at least a little bit to learn
Oh, I believe it.
what your partner is looking for. What I think we forget, and I think that happened with me and
That's
my
why you want a
ex,
trad
is
girl. She'll never get you in the middle of some bullshit.
we forget that someone's love language
You never
isn't
see Grace Thorpe pulling people into chaotic situations.
just what they want to feel loved. It might also be what they are putting out to you. And we need to understand when someone is trying, when they are pushing out love in the way that they are familiar with, in the way that they know how. And I wish I could do 100 videos on this, because I think that my 20-year-old kid brought that up to me after our divorce started, and it blew my mind. I'm like, I didn't even fucking think of that, and I can't believe I didn't. And I don't know. It was probably in the book that we read. It was probably in one of our therapy sessions, but it blew my mind. I'm just thinking, why didn't we talk about that? Why didn't we? You know what I mean? You need to actively think about what that other person is doing to see that they do love me. They're showing it in this way. But I also understand that in order to be loved, we do need the majority of it in our love language. So that is what it is. Um, the next thing, they try to tell you what you are feeling. I never really try to do that. I think if anything, because of my wife's my ex.
Excuse me? He's saying, okay, he does this pretty frequently, actually. Says that he knows how she's feeling. He's saying that even though externally she's having the time of her life with this new guy, he knows that deep down she really feels miserable. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that what he's saying he's not doing? Or maybe he's saying he didn't do that before the separation. I don't know.
Wife's issues. It
Seems
was
like he says that a
super hard
lot.
for me to understand her feelings, and I hated that I wasn't able to. I hated that nobody is going to be able to. You can't, unless you've been through it, and I hope that multiple people in a relationship don't have this. Unless you've been through it, you don't know what's going through somebody's head when they feel so hopeless that they feel like giving up life.
Oh boy.
And I'm so sorry if my ex ever sees this. I'm so sorry that I could not understand that. I could support the best I could, but I can't feel your feelings. You know what I mean? I wish I could. I could try. Uh-oh. I got somebody stopping in for a second. I'm going to shut my door real quick.
Checkerboard or chessboard.
They won't step in on me. I have a little recording sign that I put up.
A little recording sign.
Okay, the next thing on the list, I got to get through this a little faster. So the next thing on the list is deflection. I am absolutely guilty of this. I mentioned it a little bit earlier. I think a lot of it was due to my fears of being uncomfortable when she would sit me down, or hell, sometimes we would both be sitting in a room and I'd be playing on my computer and she'd be on hers and she'd say, "Hey, I need to talk to you about this." And it would just be like a bomb, like, what? Like a sniper hit me. What?
Huh?
And, stuff like,
hey, we need to talk about something important. Like a sniper.
like that. Anyway, so I was bad. And like a bomb, like, what? Like, and she'd sit down or hell, sometimes we would both be sitting in a room and I'd be playing on my computer and she'd be on hers and she'd say, "Hey, I need to talk to you about this." And it would just be like a bomb, like, what? Like a sniper hit me. What? And, stuff like that. Anyway, so I was bad at deflecting, bringing up something else. Well, in my head, it was, okay, if you're going to bring up the thing that bothers you, I'm also going to bring up the thing that bothers me. Now, that is to say, I wasn't trying to say, I don't want to talk about the thing you want to talk about. It was more of a, okay, if we're going to talk about this, let's also talk about this. And sometimes they were related. A lot of times I felt like they were related. And I know what that would feel like being
What's up, Joe?
To another person. So I get it. I did the deflection way too much. I also do not believe that it was actively gaslighting. It was
passively gaslighting.
Is a common and normal thing that people do. I don't think it's a good thing. I think it is a common thing that people do when they're scared or are afraid of how the relationship may be affected.
I know.
She was definitely also guilty of that on occasion.
Well, and he's convinced himself that she's in misery with this new guy, playing Magic the Gathering with the new guy, doing all the stuff with the new guy that she didn't do with him. He thinks she's in misery, and he's in his room recording these videos.
So similar to deflection is shifting the blame. I know she, like I just said, I believe she felt like I was trying to shift the blame when I would bring up something also. And a lot of times, I don't feel like it was shifting the blame. I understand how she feels like it would have been. I just didn't want to bring things up unless there was a problem. So if it coordinated with the time that
there's no saving this guy
with me, or
just like all of them, you can't help them. They can only help themselves.
Then I would also say, okay, well, while we're talking, let's talk about this as well. Okay, so the next thing, this is away from the things people say and more about just things. Somebody said online, if you felt like you needed to record things to because the person was constantly lying about things, to basically replay it back to them. I don't think my ex felt this way for the vast majority of our time, but she journaled off and on. And I think that was more for herself. I wish she would have done it consistently, but she didn't. She would do a little
Your
here,
Honor, she was an inconsistent journaler at best. Certainly, custody must be decided for Dave.
little there when she felt good, when she felt bad. Kind of like when people stop taking medicine when they feel like they're doing better. Well, that's fine, but journaling is not the same thing. It's not. It's not
Oh,
the same as
sorry.
not taking your medicine. So
4
I
views
felt like I should have recorded things, and that's sad. But I don't.
in this deeply personal video. I open up about being accused of gaslighting during my recent court hearing. I dive into what gaslighting really means, how it showed up or didn't in my 18-year relationship, and whether I was truly guilty of it. I go through common gaslighting behaviors and reflect honestly on my actions. And hers. This isn't a how-to or an expert guide. It's just one man processing a difficult chapter of his life. If you've ever questioned your behavior in a relationship or struggled with miscommunication, mental health, or self-growth, this video might hit home. Hashtag gaslighting. Hashtag mental health awareness.
Don't think it was because she was trying to lie to me. I think it was because she forgot a lot of things. I think some of it was selective forgetfulness of things that were said, some things that were said.
Selective forgetfulness. He's still sweeping for her.
That she did to me over the years that were terrible, horrible things.
Yeah, she did terrible things to me, and then she doesn't remember them, so I'm just gonna write it off as selective forgetfulness. Okay, Dave, come on, bro.
Forgave her about, and I'm not going to go into those. There may be some in other videos, but I'm not going to go over that right now. Okay. Don't take responsibility for...
Yeah, he got in trouble in court for gaslighting, so now he's going to cut a 40-minute promo about it.
For words or actions. Usually after a disagreement, I'm sure I'm guilty of this on occasion, but there were absolutely times where I did not feel as though I had done anything wrong, and that the feelings or things I brought up were valid. Now, I read the Stop Walking on Eggshells years ago.
Oh my God.
And
he says that all the time.
That, especially when people have BPD, they
PTSD,
will have a really hard
ADHD,
time
narcissism,
they are wrong.
bipolar,
and there will be times
manic depression,
where I and
tiny hole syndrome
in this situation where you do have to stand up for yourself.
Let me go cut a couple of 40-minute promos.
I understand that you feel that way.
This shit's 42 minutes long, man. I can't.
And that will piss them off. And that's also a narcissist thing. And do I think she's a narcissist? No. Do I think she has some of the traits? Absolutely. More likely, those traits are overlapping with her bipolar or BPD or PTSD, anxiety, ADHD, pick one. So I don't think that she meant to do a lot of them. I don't think she meant to do a lot of the bad things she did to me.
What?
But they happen, you know. It happens.
Dude, having mental illness, having PTSD, bipolar, whatever, BPD, is not an excuse for bad behavior. He's just going to be, oh, okay, well, she's BPD, so she had to sit on all those dicks. Dude, come on. He's completely letting her off the hook. This is unbelievable. This lady is pulling off the heist of a century here on old poor Dave.
Let's see. The next one.
I can't believe
make someone
this.
Feel negative about themselves. I tried not to let that happen. I tried to not make her feel negative about herself. I would say 99.999% of the time, I was successful at not doing that. There were definitely times where I didn't mean to and made her feel bad about herself, but not a consistent thing. So, okay, I'm running out of battery here, so we're going to wrap it up. Many of these things on this
We're gonna
list
wrap it up 8 minutes later.
literally make me sick to my stomach
Oh my
just
God.
thinking about doing them to somebody. I couldn't tell somebody, you're not good enough, or if you loved me, you would do this. That to me is just that blows my mind. I can't even imagine somebody saying it. That's
He said that's what she said when it came to letting her hook up with other guys. Was she said that if Dave loved her, then he would let her do it.
sick. I'm sorry, but if that's something that you do, you need to talk to a therapist. They probably need to talk to a therapist. You probably need to get out of that situation. Uh, one last thing that I want to talk about before I wrap it up. I realize now, after the fact, that I've talked to my therapist and other people and other therapists and psychologists, that she made me question my own reality of my emotional intelligence and my empathy. When in reality, I think that was her lack of empathy with me. Um, she told me lots of times over the years that I couldn't understand her or other people. And like I said earlier, there were some feelings that she had that I could not understand. But I learned about all of her conditions. I worked with her the best I could. I forgave her. I took those times that were really horrible and put those in little boxes and put them off to the side and said, "This is not who she is. I can forgive that." But I
Oh
had
my
so
God.
many boxes that I could have built a damn house out of it. And
Uh, what's up, Ananje? This is just, it's. He's like, oh, because she checks the box of she's willing to be with him, basically, is what she's not even willing to be with him anymore. He's so coping by saying, oh, I can overlook these massive issues because she checks other boxes. But what are those boxes? Not he doesn't want to learn a new person.
I'm being told all over the place, you can't live with somebody with all those conditions and not have great emotional intelligence. I know she doesn't feel
Oh
like it
my
because she felt
God.
unheard or she felt sad.
Oh man. Wow. So he thinks he has like a really high emotional intelligence level? Bruh.
Or what have you, but
Bruh.
I felt unheard conditions and not have. I'm being told all over the place, you can't live with somebody with all those conditions and not have great emotional intelligence. I know she doesn't feel like it because she felt unheard or she felt
I
sad
know she would disagree because I misread every single emotional situation, but I have excellent emotional intelligence.
or what have you, but I absolutely have high emotional intelligence. Just the idea that I'm making these videos, that I'm learning about possible issues that I've got, I think that speaks to itself. Um, she told me lots of times that it's like I didn't have any emotions, I didn't have any feelings. Well, if you're a man, anything like me, that's
Yeah,
not
that's kind of what I was saying. Like, there's no passion here. He's not mad that she's banging other guys. He's not turned on by it. Everything just kind of he's got no reaction to anything. Dropping an F bomb every once in a while is about as upset as he gets.
true. We hold our emotions, and many times what seems like they're bigger
He's
than the
training for a
house. Or
triathlon, Erod.
what I mean? And we're trying to hold them into this tiny little area. And we listen to music that's, you know, sad or hate, rage, you know what I mean?
Hate
Because we
rage?
try to get that out in calmer ways, I guess, through music, through things
Remember when
like
we talked
that,
about
maybe
hate
through therapy.
fucking?
I would suggest anybody who's having issues like that to go ahead and start therapy as soon as you can. I know it costs money and it sucks. And a lot of people think that therapy is not worth it. But anyway, that led me to believe in my mind that a lot of things were my fault in her happiness and her unhappiness. And that's just not true. I wasn't responsible
He's
for her
training for
happiness and
mental
unhappiness.
gymnastics.
That was inside her the whole time.
That was inside her
And
the
a lot
whole
of that
time.
came, and I know it's a mean way to say it, baggage, but she had a lot of what you could call baggage from growing up. A lot of issues with her family, with boyfriends, with getting pregnant very young. She didn't have that time in her life when she could go out and
She didn't have that time in her life because you married her when she was 19. Like, I'm not judging him for that. He probably felt like he'd won the lottery. But, like, obviously, young mother, young wife, she's going to miss out on her, exploration phase.
have fun and party. She grew up too fast, and between that and all these other issues, there were
I
a lot of
haven't seen.
things,
Well,
and
Vinny was here in the first stream.
I took all that on in a way. You know what I mean? I have that what you call kind of white knight syndrome. I'm
What? He's got. Huh? White knight syndrome, but she said that he wasn't defending her honor.
reading about now. I thought, well, I can help. I can help her. I love her so much. I can help her, but you can't. There
Mm-mm.
are some things that there is no cure for. You can help this person. You can love this person. You can support this person. You can be the best provider that you can be. 20 years down the road in your marriage, if they just change who they are,
They okay. No, tell me that this isn't. I'm not like crazy. She didn't change who she was. She was the behavior she exhibited after 20 years was the exact same behavior she exhibited the first time they were married. She cheated on him with like his best friend, got pregnant. That's exactly what's happening here. It's a repeated pattern of behavior. Why is that how he can cope by saying like, "Oh well, this is only something that's recent, so if we can just get past it." But it's not. It's been happening the entire time they've been together.
because of life changes, there's nothing you can do about that. It's sad, but I realize that there's nothing I can do about that. I still compare people to her. I still, when I pick up things at the grocery, would she like that? I don't think she would eat that. I don't know. Whatever.
Why?
Like and
Huh?
it's only
So he's at the grocery store after they're separated and she's living with a new guy, and he's wondering to himself if she would like certain items.
a few months, and I'm sure that's going to go on for years, and it's going to take me a lot
No,
of
it's
therapy,
gonna
a
go
lot
on
of
for
working through
years.
things. There's going to be a lot of things that I've said in some of my videos that maybe demonize her. I don't hate her, and I never will. I know she's probably pretty hateful of me right now because we have to go through court case and I'm going for custody, and I have to bring up things that are not flattering, that are not nice, and it makes me sad to do it, but I'm not doing it to make her happy. That is not my prerogative anymore, and I'm not happy about it, but it's all about my son and what I think is best for him. And
Yeah,
somebody with all of her issues needs
I'm not gonna say
to be able
anything.
to work on those issues without.
It doesn't seem. It seems like he's centering himself in this over anybody else. He's putting himself and his needs first, or his feelings first.
Too much hindrance. And maybe having my son there half the time or more of the time would help her,
What do
but
you
I don't
think
think
is
it
so
will.
great about her, or do you think it's just a him problem?
And that is what it is, and that'll come down to the court case. I may win, I may not. It's not about winning. It's about trying to make the safest, calmest um, place for my son. One of the things that we disagree on is the schooling. She wants to take him to another school that's
She wants him
nearby,
to
that's a
attend a
better
Catholic
school, and
school.
I get it. All of his friends are at this school. He'll be in sixth grade. I'm kind of up and down on that. It's kind of a hassle to take him to another school, and he definitely wants to live with me. So anyway, I'm off subject. I'm gonna let it go.
So the school that his wife wants his kid to go to is the one where all of his friends are, or the opposite?
I gotta get off here. This is probably one of my longer videos. I don't know who cares about gaslighting, but you've heard me go through all this stuff. I don't believe that I was gaslighting her.
I can't believe I just watched a 42-minute video about a guy running down accusation by accusation, anti-gaslighting commentary.
None of this was consistent enough. None of it was the same things over and over. It was rare occasions over the years.
He's not feeling anything. Like he said, he doesn't seem to really really have a lot of emotional range.
Same thing with her back at me. The only things, like I said, towards the end, that I think she did make me feel like I couldn't have feelings. I didn't have feelings, and that was a long term thing. Was it gaslighting? Maybe, but I doubt it. So leave me your thoughts. If you're a psychiatrist or a therapist, absolutely leave me your thoughts. Leave me your comments. None of this stuff is clinical. I am not a doctor. Not a doctor. Uh, I'm just on here giving my thoughts, talking to people. Hopefully, I can help somebody. All right, everybody, have a good day. Thanks.
All right, I'm going to end it there. We've got one more episode of this, and then we'll be done. There's 2 more videos, and then I want to do all the shorts, so I want to have it in a nice, concise trilogy. But man, what another set of wild videos from my journey through life and divorce. Only 4 views on that, too. It's hard to believe. All right, well, I'll be back tomorrow for a lo-fi stream, like a bunch of different VHS style old school videos, public access TV shows, maybe a shot on video movie if I can find one. I did give him a comment. I said what she did to you was wrong. But anyway, well, no, reflection is on Thursday. Thursday will be we'll do the reflection flashback and then Boyd madness of some kind in the afternoon. And then Memphis in the morning, and then Boyd in the afternoon. But I'm going to go. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully I'll see you soon.